Greetings, family. Welcome to Pan-Africanism towards Nationhood, building a global Black business pipeline. And greetings, family. Welcome to tonight's show. And you're here with Bomani Tyehimba and Kala Genesis. Bomani Tyehimba of Africa for Africans, Tourism Investment, and Kala Genesis from Kala Genesis Radio and Black African Infrastructure Organization. And family, my good brother Kala Genesis always have these great topics. And let me just share with you tonight's topic. Your favorite YouTubers are Pan-Africanists in name only. P.A.I.N.O. That's the acronym. And you're live with Kala Genesis and Bomani Tyehimba and family. We're going to break down the Afrikstan analysis. Yes, my good brother Kala Genesis. And before we get started, this is the view that I have for you right there. And family, that is our incredible Africa for Africans tour schedule for the journey of a lifetime coming up. And our featured journey is our Liberia journey, which we'll talk a little bit more, and we're going to talk more into details on. But yes, we just got back from Ghana, May 24th to June 5th on the journey of a lifetime. And those video footages are currently up on this YouTube channel. And we have a whole lot more to share from roots, culture, business, investment, nightlife, shopping, networking, paradise, and just enjoying tropical Africa. So we're here in the summer, just getting everything reloaded back up. And we have a whole lot of previous footage to show with you from Senegal and Gambia, April 2023 also. So most of that is up, but we have photos and other highlights to share with you. But our next journey is Tanzania. That's November 16th to the 27th, 2023. So those details are on our website at africaforafricans.org. So we are, all these tours I'm about to mention are our go, and we're just looking to add more people to make it stronger energy. So once we finish there in Tanzania, we're off to South Africa to close out the year, and that's December 24th to January 4th. And so those last two journeys are during the holidays, so hopefully that works for most people, and your time off and things like that. And it's a busy holiday season, so for those who are interested in traveling with us, we need to communicate immediately so we can just be clear with you on the flow of everything that we have set up. And as usual, all those details are just always updated on our website. So the beginning of the year, we're going to set it off with Liberia, March 29th to April 9th, 2024. And this is a journey inspired by Kala Genesis, the man that's been talking passionately about Liberia the last several years. And I've been working with him the last 2 years so we can put together the greatest operation for our brothers and sisters for the journey in the world of repatriation, Pan-Africanism, nationhood, repatriation, and just laying it out with the Afrikstan flow and energy so we can build something sustainable, something generational, and something that would stand the test of time, and something that would add on to the greatness of what our ancestors built in Liberia. So this is our featured journey, and it's our most incredible venture. We're trendsetters. Before Ghana was popping off, we're laying the foundation and doing a whole lot of marketing energy. So now we're here to tell you what's the next best energy going on in Africa, and that's right there in West Africa, also in Liberia. And Kala Genesis is going to break it down like he is breaking it down over and over the last 2 years as we've been working this program. And while we're doing Pan-Africanism toward nationhood, our goal is to mix in the energy of what we're looking to build in Liberia little by little and over. That way you just get a full flow and clarity of what we're looking to do. And then once we get there and we build our energy and we redo the journey again, you're going to start seeing people popping out the woodworks and everything and so on. So I'm always telling Kala Genesis, keep your stamp going on what you're building in Liberia, because a lot of people are going to come out the woodworks and start talking about Liberia, and my good brother gave them many chance to literally connect with us and build this energy. But it's not too late for some of us, so families, build this network strong and make our ancestors proud and build on the energy of Marcus Garvey, Universal Negro Improvement Association, and African Communities League. All those are foundation of Pan-Africanism, where now it's our turn in the 21st century to really build, that strong energy and build an energy to where it can stand the test of time. All right, and from there on, we're on to our 24th Journey of a Lifetime to Ghana, and that's July 11th to the 23rd, 2024. And from there on, we're going to travel to Nile Valley Civilization. That's November 21st to December 2nd. And then we're looking to replace the Senegal and Gambia April 1st to 11th, 2025 journey with Liberia. So that's in the making, but we just can't change schedules just that quick at this moment. So that's giving everybody a heads up. That way, for those who don't make it, the first journey, we have another one ready for you within the year. And we're going to build energy because, you got to strike while the iron is hot. And that is the philosophy of what we're flowing with. And my good brother, Kala Genesis, is always full of energy. And you know what I'm talking about, Kala? Strike while the iron is hot. It's like, it's kind of when you're telling me about Liberia, and then people start talking mad stuff. Next thing you know, you're in Liberia, and the next thing you know, you're back in Liberia again. And then you're confirming everything that we've talked about, analyzed, researched, and you're telling, together, we're both telling people that, family, this is the great venture that we've been looking for. We've tried in so many countries in Africa, and it has failed us. Let's continue to belong to the country that was built for us. Our ancestors thought about you and I, College Genesis, whether it's 100 years ago with Marcus Garvey or 200 years ago with the Liberia settlement. So, brother, I'll break that down a little bit, and then let's get into your favorite topic about your favorite YouTubers or Pan-Africanists.
And name only. I would like to know who made. We're going to talk about that. Also, we're going to talk about what's coming up is we're going to start having a Pan-African report card, Yes, you score on your Pan-African report card, Are you getting D's and F's, or you getting A's in certain things? We're going to have a Pan-African report card. So we're going to be rating people proclaiming themselves Pan-Africanists, give them a report card. They got a problem with it, they're going to speak to Bomani and Kala,
There you go, rock on, brother.
Like, damn, man, we heard you got an F minus, minus, in that. Oh, damn, So
you can give us some grades tonight too, man.
I'm gonna give out some grades tonight too. Yeah, we're gonna give out some grades tonight. We're gonna pick up people's like, who should we talk about tonight? Bing, I got the person in my head, but I'm not gonna tell you yet. I think Bomani knows. So we're gonna talk about some people tonight, whatnot. No shade at these people. I have nothing but love for all these brothers who at least try it to be Pan-Africans. But I tell you what, I think the problem is we're judging people that about how many YouTube subscribers they have. Damn, I got 300,000 subscribers. I'm a Pan-Africanist. You can't talk to him. Oh, look how many people I got on my live stream and everything. And you listen to them for 3 hours, and you get a headache. You get nothing out of it. But I don't mean to brag or anything like that. But when you hear College Genesis speak, fire's lit into you. People be telling me stuff that I forgot. Remember when you said that a year ago and everything like that? My words carry, And know why? Because what I'm saying is real. It's coming from the heart and soul. It ain't just something I'm just doing just for likes and views. What I'm saying is real. This is real life here. So about Liberia again, the thing about this is when people start talking about Pan-Africanism, one big thing people don't realize is that this idea that there's many different versions of Pan-Africa. Some people see it as business. Some people think it just repatriate to Africa. Some people believe in building cultural links with the continent or building with the Caribbean. Some people just means that we're all black people. We should all work together no matter what. Black people are black people and everything like that. So we have different versions of what we mean by Pan-Africanism. One thing Pan-Africans always have is a love for your race and who you are. If you don't have any love for your race, then you can't be called a Pan-Africanist. What I mean by that is when you're a real Pan-African, you see black people as black people. Now, I understand that we have different cultures and everything, but we have to say, look, okay, where is the vanguard? Where is the citadel of place where black men could be black men, black women could be black women, and we don't have tribalism and everything? And that always leads me to Liberia, okay? That always leads me to Liberia. Maybe in some ways South Africa, because they had the experience of apartheid and stuff, right? But when I look at Liberia, right, and I'm saying to myself, a country that was in its constitution mentioned race. No other constitution in Africa mentions race. In Ghana, Nigeria, and all these places like Kenya, non-black people could be citizens. They could own land. They recognize in their constitution the Queen of England, the royal family, and ties to the royal family. And they Constitution protects foreign interests. Even before they wrote the Constitution, we're not going to be able to take the land. Look at Namibia. Namibia's constitution forbade it from taking over the land that the whites control. And Skeleton Coast, the thing. The only country that where the constitution was written that didn't give a damn about white people and what they thought was Liberia. But yeah, you got black people who walk around, I hate Liberia because I heard you're so emasculated, right? That someone told you that you oppressed somebody. So you walk away from the one country where your ancestors put their foot down and up some people's ass, to establish something. To basically create a citadel of hope and everything. We're the only race of people on the planet that does that. You think the Japanese are going to walk away from their heritage and everything because of what the Japanese did to the Chinese in World War II and World War II? No. They'll stand by that. Do you think the white people are going to start taking out Jefferson Monument, Jefferson Memorial, because Jefferson owned slaves? No. They don't give a damn about black people. You go down to the South, right? You got Confederate monuments standing up there, and they say, nigga, we don't give a damn what you don't think about that. Nathan Bedford Forrest is a hero of ours. Like it, you like it. You got some highways on the state of Florida. They got the rebel. Now, I'm not trying to compare us to these people right here, but I'm saying we had a country where we did nothing wrong. We did everything right. And you want to walk away from it because there might be a situation where somebody might have been uncomfortable, or some stupid people who are haters or saying, oh, you guys did this and you guys did that. And you so emasculated, you're so cucked that you'll walk, I don't want nothing like I heard that we did some wrong things to the indigenous Liberians, all this kind of freaking nonsense, So the bottom line is this. It's time for us to be men, right? A man says, yes, Joseph Jenkins Roberts, E.J. Roy, all these great men, I'm embracing them, right? And also, we should do a show tomorrow night, Bomani, called Liberian Presidents, our Founding Fathers, And I'll have a whole bunch of pictures, and I'll talk about the Founding Fathers, great black men in the 19th century. The black men in the 19th century were 10 times stronger than the black men of today. These are men that will go out there, clear a field, log, everything like that, cut down field, plant, everything like that, and eat, and then be ready for church on Sunday. We have strong black men in this world. That's why they fear us so much. Our labor is what made America possible. So therefore, when we went to Liberia, that was a piece of cake, building a country from the ground up. We did that with ease. So it's in that spirit of real black manhood that we're embracing Liberia all over again. Our ancestors did what they had to do to build a republic, and now we can have a country that in the Constitution, we can own land, we can own businesses, and nobody can deprive us. You don't even have to, there's nowhere in the Liberian Constitution that space of being with a Liberian. All you have to do is be a black man, and you could be part of Liberia. You don't even have to freaking be a citizen. The only place in the world where you don't have to worry about white people living in the outback and right now being on sanctions for white people and everything like that. Our ancestors, even when the indigenous people took over, you talk to them, they're just as pro-black as we are. The white man thought if he got rid of the so-called American Liberians, that Liberia would fall prey to them. That didn't happen. Charles Taylor said no. Even Samuel Doe said no. We like this idea of this being a black Negro republic. So that, to me, right there, since there's a black identified republic, that's what I have to identify with first. I can't be a Yoruba at this point in my history. I can't be a Mende. I can't be like that. I don't care what my DNA, all that says right there. I have to have a black thing. I'll labor fuck about Liberia, tell them hold their own nuts. Oh no, another fucking FBA idiot. Don't kick him out, Bomani. Let him stick around because we're gonna whip his FBA head up tonight. We're gonna whip up on some FBA tonight. So the bottom line is you can sit this out all you want. Just like I said, who are you to talk for Black America? Nobody knows what ADOS FBA is. All these people, AOS, you got these people running around talking about, I ain't African. No one's dragging. We don't want you. All you don't want to be Africans, don't want nothing to do with Africa, and think you're just tied to America. America's falling apart. Nice infrastructure. Its moral fabric is dying. How you gonna look on TV, look at BET, and look at the filth and everything? Look at all these people pushing homosexuality and transgender and say, this is what I want to be a part of. Are you sick? I don't want nothing to do with this culture in America. So we're going to talk about that tonight, right? And also, let me tell you something, folks, right? When we talk about the Pan-African world, in my opinion, right? To me, you have to be pure of heart. You have to be pro-Black. You have to stand up for your people at all costs. You know, there's a time to criticize our people with constructive criticism out of love. But when you're sitting there taking shots at your own people and you're saying the same things that the white supremacists say, and you're not with us. You're not with us. There's a lot of stuff going on in Black America I don't agree with. But I also agree that vast majority of Black people are good, decent, hardworking people that pay their bills, take care of their family, do what how they got. Those are my people. If you don't believe that, you do not belong in this movement. And you need to get out. If you haven't studied your people long enough to understand that the remarkable success, which is Black America, the many fields we dominate, you know, the record numbers of kids we put that graduated from college, whatnot, the inventions, the number of businesses being started and everything like that, the growth of the Black middle class and everything. Yes, we have problems with the marriage and stuff like that. Yes, we have some areas where there's crime and everything. But overall, there's almost 50 million of us doing really well in this country, and we have something to say to the world. You know? The FBA, you don't speak for this Black man. No, the FBA don't speak for anybody. All they are is a bunch of online trolls sitting around talking about Black America and that, you know? The Black American people I know, right? Let me tell you something, how I feel about this, right? And I thought about this the other day, right? Me personally, right? If I see a person, Black African American, he's a military guy, right? He's doing all the right things. He's taking care of his family and everything like that. He loves America. He has a red, white, and blue. America's the best things from Africa. He made his peace. He understands like that. Me and him can be friends. Why? Because just like he feels the way he is. And I got a lot of friends that are in the military. This is the way he feels about America. America's a great country and everything like that, right? Because I'm a decent Black man, hardworking Black man, and everything, we have 90% of things in common. Since I'm a Black man who do the right thing, I'm a business owner, I'm a success, everything, we have something in common. So we can sit there and agree to disagree about those things. Like when you try to build with somebody, let me tell you something about building with people, right? And this is why Bomani and I work well together. You don't sit there and fight and talk about and try to be divided by your differences. You take your similarities and what you have in common, right? And you strengthen those to the 100th power. If I see a Black man that's basically pro-American, everything like that, and he's all about his family, his wife, kids, everything, that's something I could build with. That's a Black man with a family. That's a Black man with a wife and kids. That kid that's going to send kids off to college. That's part of my Black nation. Granted, in other words, I'm not going to use my philosophy of Pan-Africanism to make an enemy out of somebody that's my brother. And that's what I mean by Pan-Africanism name only. People using Pan-Africanism to weaponize a philosophy they don't even know, to attack other Black people that they don't even know themselves whether they believe in what they're saying. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of people have used the Pan-African to be divisive. And we're going to end that stuff tonight. When you are a real Pan-African, what you do is you show what you can do. You say, okay, yeah, this is what we're doing. This is what I believe in. And people say, you know something, Colin, like I have people listen to me for years. Like, yeah, Colin, I know you're a good brother. When I'm not really, but then eventually they're like, you know something? Kyle, I can't wait till you're successful. I see what you mean. I wasn't into the Pan-African thing, but you sort of grew on me. That's because I didn't ram it down their throat and tell them there's something wrong with them because they didn't see what I saw. The reason why I'm a Pan-African, because it's beyond just also like that. I read books and everything. I understand geopolitics. I understand how the world operates. And the world is definitely race-based. And we see this now. Everything I'm seeing that's happening now, right? I predicted 30 years ago. And it terrifies me now because I was always wanted to be wrong. I looked at history. I said, has never in history where a group of people that were once enslaved were ever going to ever assimilate and just forget that. You cannot forget that. You cannot forget slavery. Now, I understand that there's people that's comfortable here. They got a good life, everything here. But even Bomani will tell you, you got middle-class black people, right? Mark Blanton will tell you, middle-class black people. There's something, if they had a way to live in another country or live in Africa, they would do it. While they got their white friends, while they in corporate America, everything like that, I understand our people. And the reason why they haven't jumped on the Pan-Africanism because of the face of Pan-Africanism on YouTube and a bunch of bozos running around making us look like friggin' fools. The only thing that's going to save Africa, right, is Black America and the diaspora. We're the only race of people where the diaspora is disconnected from the motherland. The Chinese are all over the world connected to Hong Kong, Beijing, everything, to their motherland. So are the Japanese. So are Europeans. We're the only people still in a state of slavery where we're sitting there wondering about America and everything like that, when the answer is right there on the shores of Africa. Because we have not put together a real, concrete Pan-African program that's going to liberate our people. That Malcolm X wanted, like Dr. Kwame Nkrumah wanted, like Patrice Lumumba wanted. So what I'm trying to say tonight, folks, and you're going to see it tonight, right? This movement is serious. This is not fun and games. I'm not going to tell you that I'm not candy coating this thing anymore. There's going to come a time where you're going to have to make a choice. I cannot have lukewarm people anymore. Either you're in this or you're not. Now, if you're not in this, like I said, you're fine. If you believe in America and America is this way, we could be friends. We can go out bowling. We can shoot pool. But if you call yourself a nationalist and a Pan-African, like that, you better come correct, or leave it alone, or give it up. So that's what I'm opening with tonight, Brother Monty. What do you think?
Yes, College Genesis, always on fire. Yes, family, we're here dropping it live, and Kala is going to go into more details on this topic subject tonight. You know, he's on super fire, and he's going to break down the Pan-Africanist in name only. You know, your favorite YouTubers, you know, some of you might get your feelings hurt. I mean, but it's one of those real things that the people that you're watching are, you know, most of them are, you know, they're actors, you know, they're profiling, they're, you know, portraying to be something that they're not. You know what I mean? If we were really all in this movement, you know what I mean, we'd have built the Afrikstan like me and Kala Genesis been talking about for a while. You know what I mean? But are they really down with it? You know, Kala, how many people that you have talked with about Liberia for the last several years? And, you know,
nothing.
Where's their energy towards it? You know, they're just wasting their time.
And they're so dismissive. Let me tell you something, right? When somebody is so dismissive of probably the most important thing the black race has ever done was create the Republic of Liberia. Because of the Republic of Liberia, that's what led to the independence movement all throughout Africa. You know, think about there never been any Liberia. Most black people in the world being educated by Europeans would believe that the white race would be like Jughead said, like Tasmania. They would just simply die and disappear. What gave the idea that Africans think they can govern themselves in the modern world? They had a model. They had a model on the coast of Africa, of black men and women running their own society. So therefore, I don't even blame a lot of people who don't know any better, but people who basically call themselves Pan-Africanists, right? And they don't know the history of Liberia, don't appreciate the history of Liberia. They're all over the place. But the one thing that's probably the most remarkable thing was how a group of people in the 19th century where Europeans were carving up the globe that were ran through Zululand. At the same time, the British were in South Africa, the Belgium in the Congo. How the America was going through Central America, and America grabbed Panama. America was grabbed up the Philippines. The Japanese and everybody else was carving up China. How did this little in India? How did this little tiny country manage to build itself to a republic and get diplomatic recognition? How the hell did that happen? It's almost mind-boggling. How the heck that happened? When the Europeans had carved up the rest of the dang globe, how did this republic stand like this? Post-World War II, Spain was so impressed. The Spanish was so impressed with Tubman in Liberia, right? They named Liberia, they made Liberia Day a holiday in Spain. Spain, which once ruled the world, said they looked at Liberia's story and said, this is the most remarkable thing. The black man, because Spain was right in the thick of it. They said they've seen black men in chains and everything. To see this black republic come up as our equals and pass us, look at the cities that they built and in that record time. They said they said Liberians would go to Spain for vacation and everything. They were treated like royalty. You're a remarkable, great people. How the heck did you do this? It's that spirit of resilience that we never gave up. And that's the spirit of the African Americans. We never gave up. We never sit there and talk about some critical race theory or systemic thing like that. We took our ancestors back in the days were something. They didn't know nothing about no damn white supremacy like that. They went out there and they took on the world. But this last generation of people who've been educated by so-called psychologists and everything, you got black people defeated before they even get up. Oh, everything's systemic and we can't do nothing and everything. So we're locked in a quagmire. So like I said, revisiting and rebuilding and being appreciative of Liberia is going to go a long ways in basically putting this Pan-African movement in the forefront because we have the template. You going to play that, Bomani?
Hello, everyone. So, a few weeks ago, I saw this post on Facebook. It was about this restaurant I just opened in Liberia called Fatu Lemon Bar and Restaurant. And I was like, it looks so cute. I gotta visit. So, finally, I packed my things. I decided I'm going to visit and I came with Jovina. So, this place is located Robertsfield Highway, Tinkers Village, Liberia. When we arrived at the restaurant, I had the opportunity to sit with Madame Salome. She's the owner of the restaurant. She and her son, but the son is based in the US. And she explained about the journey, how it was established in 2019. And because of coronavirus, she had to shut down and they just decided to rebrand, and now the rain is falling, they're low on business, but despite that, they're moving strong. I wish that I could have shared the audio, but because of the rain and because of how it's on the road, as you can see, I couldn't share the audio because it turned out to be really, really messy. So I'm just gonna be giving you my view on the place. Normally, when the rain is not falling, they have chairs all in the yard. As you can see in the pictures, it looks really, 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 really good. So this is a tour of the space Madam Salome was giving me. This is the back. We're coming from the back side of the restaurant and the bar. So for now, the restaurant is available for use, but the bar is still being developed. It will be done soon, according to Madam Salome. So enjoy the view. As a content creator, I will tell you any day that my favorite part about this restaurant is the aesthetics. It is gorgeous, like drop dead gorgeous. Like just imagine the kind of pictures you can take here and see how romantic it feels. That's the vibe I got when I entered Fatu Lemon Bar and Restaurant. Like this is the perfect place when you want to know someone to say, "Oh hey, can I take you out on a date?" You have the lights, you have the candle on the table. Like, yes, please. And this is the club that is being developed. It's almost there though. It's getting ready. As you can see, the chairs and everything are still being placed. And yeah, it's gonna look good. I hope to visit when it is completed because it's gonna be fun. That's what I think. So moving back to the restaurant itself, I really like the aesthetics, as I mentioned earlier. I love the couches. I love how the wine glasses were placed in this kind of fashionable manner. It just looked really cool. And this is a place that I would love to visit again and just have fun, right? Because this was just for content creation, but I'm going to have fun the next time I visit because it's so cool. And I can't wait to share the pictures with you. So, Madam Salome was kind enough to prepare food for Jovina and I. She prepared the grilled fish on her menu, which tasted really, really good. Just when you're about to see the grilled fish. So I shouldn't rush the thing. You're not left food, so I let her rush anytime about food. But whenever you're in town or if you're in town now, this is one of the coolest places that you have to visit. It's nice and it's on the road, which is a perfect spot if you want to visit any part. And this is the grilled fish that I was talking about. It tastes really good. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Once again, I apologize for not adding the interview part. I really, really wanted to, but I couldn't. And this is one of the cons of having a bad microphone when the rain is falling. Also, the weather is killing me, y'all. But thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I love you all and check out this restaurant. Bye bye.
Now I'm hungry, man. Have you ever tried? Oh man, did you try Liberian coleslaw at that thing you went to? Yeah, you're muted, Bomani.
No.
Then have like, oh my god, man, like Liberian coleslaw with their baked fish. Oh my god, that with some fried. Oh my god, yo, and they put the little spices, little side thing, the spice. Liberian spice is hot. You know what I'm saying? It burns. They put that on your fish or your rice, whatever like that. Lord have mercy, it's delicious. But what I'm trying to say is, this is like when people talk about the Civil War. For the last 20 years, people have been building. Now you're starting to see the manifestation of people saying, you know something, this country is worth a thing. And these people have been coming back for like 20 years now, building. And so this is a right time for us to get in and start contributing to this country, partnering and whatnot, coming there, spending money and investing and just making it our second home, second home. So, like I said, why that don't I see any YouTubers talking about Liberia? I have no idea, because what I'm seeing is the only country with a constitution that supports you repatriating, investing long term in Africa, right? But everybody's all over the place. Everybody's on YouTube basically talking about how you're getting your ass kicked in Tanzania and look what happened in this. And that makes for YouTube content creation, but that's not moving the Pan-African thing forward, right? Let me tell you something, folks, right? And I'm not against content creation and everything, but you cannot basically, nobody's, like I said, there's never a monument ever built for a critic. There's never going to be any museum or anything like that. There's never going to be a book written by a content creator. So the whole thing I'm trying to say is we have way too much gossip, way too much foolishness, and way too much fun and games when it comes to this Pan-African movement. And like I said, let me talk about O'Shea for a second. Now, a couple of years ago, O'Shea told me I'm not going to do Pan-African. Nobody's interested. Then he finds out after Dynast went and everything like that, the Pan-Africans thing. He goes to Uganda. I can make some money over here. I can make a difference, and I can get the respect of the Pan-African because I'm living in Uganda or whatever like that. I'm doing the Uganda. But if Uganda first started, I say yes, great. I like what you talked about, Pan-African stuff like that. And I thought there was going to be real Pan-African stuff from a Black nationalist, Black power standpoint. I did not expect fun and games, gossiping, and just stupid stuff that I'm seeing right now. And so I'm really, really disappointed. A topic about Black people, African Americans in Tanzania begging, even though there's no evidence of that, right? Why would you talk about something like that without real proof or without some empathy? That's to sit on the couch and giggle about something as serious as somebody left the United States where they could have stayed in America and built a life for themselves, but they decided to go to Africa. If they fell on hard times and everything like that, the question we should ask is, why don't we have, why are we together? Why aren't we protecting each other? Why our communities aren't building with each other over there that someone would ever have to go through that? And why mock these people, What do people get out of seeing African Americans fail or suffer? And what do people get out of that? People love seeing us getting kicked when we're down. I tell you one thing right now, there's very few African Americans suffering in America, not because of America, because what we built here, the jobs, the families, and everything like institutions we built here, we have something in America. So you may laugh at us when we go to the continent and fail. If you think that's funny, you think that's humorous and everything like that, you making a mockery out of our desire to live on our mother continent, you think that's funny? And this is what we talk about P.A.I.N.Os, Pan-Africanists in name only. Some things are not funny. Let me give you another example, right? There's a lot of stuff that Africans do that we don't talk about, right? Bomani and I have never did a show talk about all the crime and stuff like that Nigerians commit over, because those are still our brothers. We know there's bad in every group of people and people make mistakes and stuff like that, right? But you look at any other race of people, right? They make sure that when their enemies listen to them, that you cannot talk about them like that. Like when somebody starts coming at Nigerians right now, they're coming at me. There's no more African American, whatever like that. If you come from Nigeria, for every Nigerian that's a criminal, I'm gonna show you a Nigerian that's exceptional. That's what it means by being my brother's keeper. And if you're a Pan-Africanist, that's what you believe in. You're your brother's keeper. if you got African Americans who are doing bad on the continent and everything like that, or doing something like that, you know, and they fall on hard times, you don't make a mockery out of them. If you got African Americans in Chicago that's not doing well and whatever like that, our people in the ghetto that's not, you don't make a mockery of them. You give them constructive criticism and understand that although you may see people in America doing bad, the vast majority of our people in America do good. That's what the Africans should be like. A vast majority of African Americans are brothers and sisters. When you make a comment like, I've heard on the Kid John says, well, they don't want you bringing your drama over to Africa. What the hell kind of comment is that? A black African American has a right to be on a continent whether he brings drama or not. That's his ancestral homeland. And who are you to tell somebody they got to be acting a certain way to go to their mother continent? This is what I mean by Pan-Africanism, name only. So this is what I'm talking. This is why we're having all these things where people are scamming people because people have never learned how to respect African Americans. They may like you and everything like that, but we've never demanded or make people respect us. When Africans or whoever come over here, they can do what the fuck they want to do. Say what they want to do, act out, do what the hell they want to do. Nobody says anything. Isn't America our home? But when we go to Africa, we got tippy toe and we can't say this, we can't say that, we can't do this, and or just go back to America. No, if you go to a country and everything like that, of course, you if there's something wrong, whatever like that, you're gonna speak out and say it like this. Don't tell me you go. Oh, you don't like it, go back to America and everything like that. You expect America and Africa and all this kind of stupid stuff like this. What do you expect when you come to America? You expect things to work, right? Why can't we expect the same thing when we go to Africa? Well, you know, like, okay, then why don't we work together to fix those things? So we can both have a decent standard of life no matter where we at. That's what it means by brotherhood and Pan-Africanism. So.
Yes, Brother Kali. Yes, Brother Kali. You ready for the video?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Welcome to my channel. I'm Traveling Tony. I'm live here in Tanzania. 28th. I'm going to talk about some of the things I've been seeing on YouTube. It's a lot of incorrect information out there, right? So I'm going to tell you as a nomad, right? I've been living in East Africa for almost 2 years. I started in South Africa, then I made my way to Tanzania, Uganda, Kenya, and then just mainly Tanzania, Kenya, but mostly Tanzania. This is where I mostly am all the time. Tanzania. I travel around Tanzania, everything. Wifey's getting her hair done right now. But today we're going to talk about African Americans in East Africa, particularly Uganda. We in the crib, Uganda. Let's get it. Oh, shit. Yes, sir. On my balcony, this is lit. In Tanzania. Where are we the most welcome? I can tell you, as a nomad who lived in both, we are definitely more welcome in Tanzania, 100%. In Uganda, so I was in Uganda for 45 days, right? I go to every country with open arms, open mind, open eyes, open ears, ready. You know, I'm ready to accept the culture and mesh and be a part of it, right? I would say in Uganda, this is the only place I've ever heard people say this. They didn't say it in South Africa, they didn't say it in Kenya, they don't say it here. As far as in Africa, the 4 countries I've been to, right? They would say, you Black Americans this, you Black Americans that, you Black Americans that. It's like they have a problem with Black Americans. And you know what's crazy? We don't even go there. Now, if you look at the numbers of travelers, right, per year, compare countries, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, right? travelers from America in particular, right? So obviously it's going to be Kenya number one, Tanzania is number two, and Uganda is the last. No one goes there. Like no young Black Americans go there. So I don't even know how they have these incorrect beliefs about us. You know, they're pushing a terrible rhetoric, even about Black Americans in Tanzania. Like I haven't seen any Black Americans begging for change and shit like that. It's, you know what, and what's crazy about it is Tanzanians, they absolutely love us. They accept us with open arms, or I would not be here. I have not been back to Uganda since because I did not like it. I was there with Travelversity. That is a white Jesus place. And now let me tell you the truth about a lot of these white travelers that go to Uganda, that promote the Pearl of Africa. They're going there to engage in weird shit. I talked to a couple girls, a lot of girls in Uganda while I was there, Kenyan and Ugandan, but the info about Uganda, I'm going to just give from the Ugandan girls that I talked to. I even have screenshots, but I'm not going to put nobody out there. I asked particularly, why do they have a problem with Black Americans? And what's up with this white Jesus treatment, you know, Chinese Jesus? So I was talking to one girl, and she was telling me that she had a white gentleman on Afro Introductions ask her if she would be willing to do a threesome with her, right? So she said, okay, tell me about this threesome thing, right? So the guy said he would like to do a threesome with her and his dog. And the girl asked him, how would this work? And she went into telling me, she asked him, and then he explained in detail how a threesome would work with an animal. Now, these are a lot of these white travelers that are going to places like Uganda. Yeah, I mean, Black travelers don't engage in that weird shit. Like, you could talk all the shit you want about African Americans. We are not doing sicko shit like that. That is for the Anglo-Saxons and the Eastern Europeans, whatever. And I don't mean to shit on them, but I'm saying, like, y'all coming for us. You know, as a Black man that grew up in America, I have my issues with Black America, obviously. That's why I left. But not every Black American is just destitute and down bad living in Africa. There's a reason why there's more Black Americans here in Tanzania than in Uganda. Nobody wants to go there. And I'm just being real at this point. I mean, you guys keep coming for us, keep bringing up topics about African Americans, this, African Americans, that. It's like, just leave them alone. Like, they're not bothering you. They're not even in your country. They're not even in your country. So why are you worried about African Americans? They don't go to Uganda. You feel me? So just leave it alone. So stop it, because you're just gonna create more people like me that are gonna tell their experience in Uganda, and it's not gonna be a nice experience. You know, I try to keep it PG for YouTube, but realistically, the place was terrible for young Black Americans. Now, if you're a white guy, and another thing, people don't even know I'm Black American until I talk. So, you know what I mean? Like, they think I'm Nigerian. I was with Travelversity. They thought he was Kenyan and Nigerian, you know, like, so come on, man. Like, just stop it. Stop the cap. The Black dudes are not in Tanzania begging for money, eating trash. These women want to marry Black Americans. This place is the most, well, I would say Kenya is very welcoming to us too. Kenya, Tanzania, the most welcoming places for Black Americans in East Africa. I don't know about Rwanda because I did not go there, so I can't say anything about Rwanda. But the 3 countries I've been to in East Africa, I'm going to tell you for a fact, Kenya, Tanzania is where you want to go as a Black American. Excuse me. Do not go to Uganda expected to be treated with open arms and accepted. It's not going to happen. In Kenya, they love us. Tanzania, they love us. It's all good. It's all smiles. It's all cool. You know, it's all good. Now, my issues, the reason why I didn't want to live in Kenya is because I am not really big on Westernization. But that's just me personally. But if you want a mixture of Westernization and traditionalism, Kenya is the perfect place for you. Perfect place for you as a brother. You know, like they love us. They listen to our music. It's cool. If you want a little bit of America, not too much, it's cool. And yes, some of the stuff they were saying about African Americans coming to Africa expecting, I guess, something that they're not getting, that is kind of true. I do agree to an extent, yes, but those are vacationers a lot of times. Expats are different. Now, yes, you do get the ignorant expats, but most expats are, from what I've seen, are higher level thinking people to be in a position of where they can be an expat in the first place. So come on, just stop. Let's chill out. Stop trying to put all Black Americans down, African Americans this, African Americans that. Like even the ones in the States, like not everybody's a thug, a terrible person. Like there's good people. Now I would say there is a lot of negativity going on in the Black community in America. Yes. Is it majority? I would say yes. But as far as Black American travelers, come on. In outside of the Colombia, DR, those bullshit places, it's chill. This is off the beaten path. You know what I mean? For people to come off the beaten path, you have to be thinking differently. You're not thinking like everyone else. Everyone else is telling you to go to DR, Colombia, Thailand, Brazil. You know, like you're like, wait, hold on. I want to do something different. I don't want to be like everybody else. Pretty much most of the Americans I met here were cool. I do not check for Americans like that. I am here not to be around a bunch of Americans, no disrespect to Americans, but I moved I moved outside of America to embrace different cultures. So I don't deal with Americans like that, but I do see them in the grocery store. You know, they hear me talking to my girl, so they'd be like, "Oh, what's up, man?" You know, they hear my accent, whatever. Where you from? It's all cool. I haven't had any negative interactions with African Americans in Africa at all. At all. Not one time. I'm not saying you can't, but just move how you move. Just don't go looking for Americans. Just live your life. Enjoy the country. Enjoy the culture. And that's it for this video. Thank you.
Jeez, man. I wonder who he was talking about.
Yes, brother Color Genesis, that was on fire, brother. That was on fire. That was a good, comeback from all the foolishness that we have heard about Tanzania. So that's that brother's experience. So what do you think about all those things?
Yeah, he was saying absolutely true. He said, look, people always looking for, what is it about African Americans that people want to see us humiliated? People lie on us, The Bible says, don't bear false witness against thy neighbor. You know what that means? Don't accuse of somebody of something. When you tear somebody's name, their reputation down, and everything like that, you're dehumanizing them. We're the most dehuman. What did we sign up to be? Everybody's pissing boy or whipping boy or something like that? And I understand that if you freaking on YouTube all day talking a bunch of nonsense, everything. But when you start when this stuff starts seeping into the Pan-African world, a time where we should be supporting each other on the continent, and everything, looking out for each other, and everything, we're making jokes about, oh yeah, Black African Americans. Hey, do you see a camera? Did somebody show you a video? Why don't you? If you saw somebody begging, why don't you take some of that money and super chats and maybe send it to the guy? Send it to a SendWave or Cash App so he can get something to eat or help him out get on his feet. Why make a mockery of him? This is what I'm talking about. And so I'm glad his brother did. I didn't agree with what he said, but I'm not checking for Black African Americans. I think that's a mistake. I think people should work together and stuff like that. At least have networks. Why not? Because foreigners come to this. Excuse me. Excuse this call. Foreigners come to this country and they work together. The Indians, like I said, I told you a couple of weeks ago, right? The guy that owns the building where my office is at, right? Matthew, right? He just bought a brand new Maserati, man. He said, man, you only live once. Let me say, that thing is bad, man. I said, man, Matthew, I want to grow up to be like you. Anyway, I go to the 7-Eleven, right around the corner. And Indian guy owns it, right? I said, Mr. Matthew? Oh, yeah. I said, I kind of figured you did. I I said, he goes, oh yeah, I know Matthew. Oh, we know each other for years and whatnot. He owns a 7-Eleven, like 2 7-Elevens. I said, how do I know you? All you Indians know each other. I didn't say it like that, but I kind of figured you guys knew each other because they're in a foreign country and they come from a homeland and everything. That's bonding, you know. That's straight. If you're an African American living in Africa, right? The strength it's all right to embrace the local culture, right? But who you are as a person, you can't kill that. You can't kill that identity. And that should bring you stronger together in your identity. And well, unfortunately, people go to Africa, right? They end up coming back like, man, I thought I could blend in Africa and be away from Africa. Now I'm back here. I'm just, yeah. Because they went there with the wrong mentality. If they went to a mentality, it's okay, I'm going to a foreign country, right? But I'm not going to use that excuse to hate my own kind. Because what happens is when you get your feelings hurt or you get rejected, you realize that, you know, okay, you can't just suddenly become a Nigerian. You know, it just doesn't work like that. You can live in a country, but you can never become a Nigerian. You don't have the experience. Just like somebody can never be one of us because we have experience. That's why, and it comes out in our certain things we think. We see the world differently than our brothers and sisters in Africa. We are very race conscious. And so therefore we see things through the prisms of color and race. But Africans, we don't see color. Well, we do. We do see everything in color and race. When he was saying this thing about the white people come over with sicko shit, let me tell you something, right? Remember last year, someone was talking about the number of white guys who come to Uganda dating African women, and there was African Americans on the conjunction. Oh man, it's fucked up. And O'Shea said, if you don't like interracial dating, whatever like that, then stay the hell out in America. Stay out of Africa. So you just 1 year into the Pan-African movement, and you're telling somebody who says, yeah, I got a problem with seeing white guys walking down the street with black women in Uganda, that you're going to tell them to stay out of Africa. Wow, that's how far this thing has gone down to. We're actually defending white guys, like you said, coming over to Africa, wanting to have a threesome with a dog. White men on the beaches of Mombasa, Kenya, right, having sex with girls as young as 11 years old. But if we say something about it and whatnot, you're being some radical Pan-African. That's not the African. We don't give a damn about that. We're going to let Africans see the way the world would say. We just like if you look at read the Italy and the Odyssey when Homer came back and everything, and he's sitting in a bar and like these people have no idea what I just went through. You know, and I couldn't even explain to them the adventures I just went on and what I went through to get back here. Same thing here. We went through an odyssey in America, but it's up to us through writings and art to explain to the world and to Africa, right, the peril they face, because we face the word. We were in the belly of the beast. We face how white people really, if they have the power to do, when they have absolute power over our life. Africans have never experienced that. Even during colonialism, there was the majority, they still had the villages, the culture and everything like that. Say, well, what does that mean by that? Because we're living in a global world. The world is based on race. The white race is trying to win. They have 14 words. We must secure the existence of our people and our children. You know, that's a white racist thing. So if it means exploiting Africa forever, so be it. If it means Africans have to die, so be it. If it means Africa has to be put under sanctions, so be it. If it means Africans have to be denied things that other races of people have, and we could basically deny them entry in our countries and do all this stuff like this, horrible things to them and everything, that so be it. And a lot of Africans don't understand why that is. We do. I'm unapologetically Afro-American. All right, Abu Sharif, thank you, brother. Thanks for the support. Yeah, the African American has a way of seeing the world, and right now the African American is under attack. globally. I expect it from Chinese, white people, and everybody else. But I am not going to tolerate being attacked by other black people. When we know our intentions towards Africa and the Pan-African movement is good. The majority of black people in Tanzania are doing the right thing. They're not over there acting like niggas and stuff like this. This brother just cleared that up. They're just over here living their life. So it tells me no matter where you go, there's always going to be somebody trying to, they're going to try that in Liberia, but it's not going to work. Oh, they'll have some sellout on the ground in Liberia trying to report any little bad thing that happened or whatever like that and everything like that. But we're going to be ready for them. And also, we have a claim to Liberia more than any other people on the friggin' planet. Because our ancestors built that country. It's still in the Constitution that Black America is a part of that country. So let them try. We don't have to apologize. We don't have to tippy-toe. We don't have to walk on eggshells in our own land. We have to do that in America. But I'll be damned if I'm going to my ancestral homeland and I got to walk on my tippy-toe. That's why I said you have to go to a country where they understand you, they understand your ways, and understand your habits and everything like that. That's the best way how to do this. Because that's why we do have different ways of seeing the world. But you should not feel like a stranger on the African continent. Once you're on the African continent, that's your home. And whoever has a problem with it, they got to deal with it. And that's the attitude we're going to take in the future. And we're not coming there to bully. We're not coming there to take over. We're not colonizers, as people are trying to say, oh, you guys are colonizers. You guys are new colonizers. No, we're returning and getting back what was lost and what was once ours. You can't give me what was already mine. So that's the future. That's us going forward. If you don't think like that, you're just a Pan-Africanist in name only. So,
yes, Carlos, trying to see who wants to join you.
Yeah, come on.
This FBA guy is saying this stuff right here.
Dude, does it look like? I'll try to say the guy looks like a typical dark-skinned brother from America.
And you got another one here.
We have different complexions. We have different phenotypes and everything. But African American is African American, no matter what his color or whatever like that. We don't have. That's another thing. You FBA people, they're coming because I heard Mouthy Megan talking the other day, and she was basically saying, "Oh, I got a lot of white in me and all like that, and we're different." Look, dude, it's all coming out. These FBA people, right? It's not about culture. It's not about heritage. These people really just don't want to be black. As simple as that. They don't want to be black. They really think Africans are some alien race that we're different. We're all the freaking same. 99% of our DNA, 80% of our DNA is African, which makes us Africans. But the only group of people, when you take that hat off and pull that nappy head out, you know what I'm saying? You are an African, When you jump in the water and whatnot, and that hair kinks up and whatnot, you're an African. It's all about race. The white man didn't give a damn about all this other stuff like that. What you claim you are, you are what you will see in the mirror. You're black. You're from the black race. You're from the black continent. Live with it. Deal with it. Learn to love it. So therefore, yeah. So we could do one thing. We could be like spend the next 100 years with no industry, no infrastructure, no anything, or we could do like the Chinese. The Chinese reached out to its diaspora all over the world. You've been out of China for 200 years and everything, but we need you. We need you. How do you think the China developed? They reached out to the Chinatowns all over the world, say, come back to China. This is your ancestral homeland. You know, you have an obligation to build. You have our obligation to be part of this. Once a Chinese, always a Chinese. The black race didn't do that. Because we're still on this, oh, I'm a Jamaican, I'm a Barbados, I'm a Haitian, all this kind of foolishness and everything. We need that one country in Africa, right, that recognizes the strength in blackness. And I know that country is Liberia. I look at its history. We need that Pan-African citadel, that Pan-African safe haven. Afro-Americans that have an urgency to abide by a code of conduct to establish self-preservation, independence, must aggregate skills. Yeah, yeah. It's all right now. It's all about the black people who want to be productive, right? If somebody will say, "Look, I have no interest in moving to Africa. If you live a productive life, we could probably connect. If you want to build something here, like Bomani would say, build something here. But if you're doing something productive, that's fine. Now, we don't need everybody on the continent. We need our best and brightest. You know, and that's what, unfortunately, we're not getting as far as the Pan-African community. We're not getting that. That's why people are falling prey to scams. You know? Oh, my boy, man. Sampa, why don't you call in, bro? Yo, send Brother Bomani a super chat. That's my brother Dave Sampa, Sampa. He's the one that met you in Cape, the castle. You know, he's the one, Bomani, he's the one that made the big guy. You know, I know he's CIA. You know, he traveled all the way, just got back from Hawaii, man. I said, wait, tell me you're CIA, bro. No, but he's a brother, he's an engineer, you know. He's a brother of mine. He keeps me on my toes. He's my no man. Everybody needs a no man. You know what no man is? No, Kala. Yeah, that ain't right, Kala. I think you're wrong, Kala. No, Kala. I don't agree with you, Kala. He's the one guy that tells me when he thinks I'm wrong. I'm also always right, but he's a guy that tells me, you know, he'll tell me when I'm wrong. And I appreciate that. Everybody has to have a no man. Everybody has to have, yo, bro, man, come on, let's talk. That's what Umar Johnson doesn't have. Umar Johnson doesn't have a no man. He just talks one night, and he doesn't think about what he's saying. Now the firestorm, what he did on the daily wrap up one night, he's like, damn, what the fuck did I do? That's when you don't take any advice from nobody. You're dismissive of everybody's opinion. You think you're the smartest guy in the room and you know everything and everything. You make those sort of mistakes. So that's what we're talking about tonight. You know, so we're gonna FBI, shut up. You know. The FBA group are parasitoids. All you guys do is come into the black community and parasitize the host, you know, a parasitoid. You guys do absolutely nothing, you know. Whatever happened to your FBA reparations movement? How are you going to be pro-American and ask for reparations? Are you sick? Are you insane? You want to wear the American flag, you know, you got the American flag. You want to wear the American flag, but yet you want reparations from the same white man that you pledge allegiance to. The best and brightest are going to go because when there's opportunity. And that's all we have to do is make sure that the ground is right and there's opportunity, and our best and brightest will come over. If the Chinese could attract the best and brightest from America, from their universities and everything like that, why can't Africa do it? But there has to be a master plan. We have to have a master plan. If we're on the same thing saying that the goal is to build what? Black African infrastructure. This idea of an Afrikstan, the idea of an Afrikstan and Black African infrastructure, right? Right now, we ain't got none. We have none. Black in Africa and the Black race, all the stuff everything you see from a computer in front of your desk to the cup you have and everything like that comes from a global supply chain. The parts you have in your car, everything has come from a distribution channel, supply chain. How much of the Black supply chain is controlled by the Black race? Very little. And this is why the Black race is down and poor. Until we get to the point where we say we're going to build our own industries, if the Chinese could do it, if Indians could do it, the Pakistans could do it, if isolated hermit kingdom North Korea could do it, why can't the Black race do it? And that's what the real Pan-Africa is. It's going to be an alternative way of thinking. We're going to be Black people in America with our alliance and allegiance to the mother continent. That's what they fear the most. They don't want us to be, they instead of them doing the right thing, treating us like Americans and make us part of America, right? They want to do everything they can, whether it's bringing immigrants in, giving immigrants a little more crumbs, say, hey, look, these immigrants ain't complaining and everything like that, you know? Thank you, brother. Oh, he gonna call me the FBA king. Why you gonna call me an FBA, man? Come on, bro. You know, why he always do that? I knew he was gonna do that when they call me FBA. He knows I hate that fucking FBA shit, so he gonna diss me like that, call me the FBA king. You know? Oh man. I'm gonna call you tomorrow, bro. Oh man. You know, but that's my brother right there.
Yes, appreciate your brother. Appreciate your love. Appreciate your energy.
Yeah, him and his lovely wife and whatnot. They're gonna do big things in Ghana one day. You know, and I know his wife's gonna build a hospital one day in Ghana and everything like that. I'm trying to get him to come to Liberia. He's like, nah, Kyle, it's all about Ghana. I'm like, dude, man, it's all about Liberia too. But you know, it's a blessing. I'm grateful to God that I have friends that support the way I do. You know, people that believe in me and people that believe in this movement. You don't have to be all headed and everything like that, but you know, people give me support. You know, and I appreciate all those friends and you know, well wishers that support us. That's what keeps us going. You know, one thing people know about me is what I'm saying it from the heart and I'm real. You know, I don't got all the answers, you know, and, you know, I'm just, you know, just a guy, average human being, just like you are, flesh and blood. But what I say is come from the heart. Years of studying, years of research, everything leads me to this. And everything I was saying, I thought, you know, so years ago, I was hoping I was wrong. I was hoping I was wrong about this nation building thing. Maybe I went too far. But then, like I was saying before, I said, never in history, everything that I've studied, right, points into this direction. The ultimate aim of any group of people is nationhood. Now, let's talk about what is nationhood. A nation is a people that have a common bond, common history, a contemporary presence, and a common future. They're on one accord. That's what a nation is. And the nation state is the territory that people live in harmony. And they have what they call a government, which is called a nation state. There's two different things, the state and the nation. In Africa, we have states, but we don't have nations. It was a call it. What do you mean by that, right? The Europeans, when they carved up Africa, they made sure that there will be always people conflicted with each other. In order for you to have a nation, the people have to be one. People have to see it. That's what Paul Kagame is doing. That's why I said when you got fake people attacking Paul Kagame. Paul Kagame is doing one thing. He's saying Hutu, Tutsis were one people, we're Rwandans. And this is we're defined by this territory right here, the government, everything, the institution, everything, you're Rwandan. Now, if you have some other ideas about this, well, that's not welcome here. We're all Rwandans and everything like this. What do you see? I look at Kazorian shows sometimes, right? And you got people that, some people call in, I'm from some dusty ass village in this part of this, and we want our own. I said, why can't you just, okay, you're in Niger, right? Yeah, but our tribe is this, and our tribe is this, and everything. What about the nation? Well, we don't care about them. We're not. How come you guys haven't built the education system up where you guys see each other as one thing? How come you guys don't have maps and build infrastructure and build cities and everything like that where people can live in harmony? That's what Lee Kuan Yew did. Anytime you have Indians, Malays, Chinese, Muslims singing themselves as Singaporeans, right? That's a nation. We're all part of this nation called Singapore. You're no longer Chinese. You're no longer Javanese. You're no longer Indonesian. You're no longer Malay. We're Singaporeans. And why? Because nationhood, that spirit nationhood, ensures that the country is going to survive. That foreigners can't come in and cause conflict between. You make sure every group of people, even the least among the people, the smallest group, has a voice and a say so and feel a part of and included. You know, that's what nationhood is all about. We have not done that in Africa. It's one group of people dominates everything and everybody else be damned. That's why I said democracy was premature in Africa. My brother Nee Sampa says, Africa needs the best and brightest and diaspora, not lonely. Oh man, he had to go there, right? Yeah, we need the best and brightest. You know, we need our best and brightest, you know, and Africa needs to basically reach out to the best and brightest. You got to basically say, you know, this is who we want. You know, they got to visit the HBCUs. They got to start building links with black businesses and stuff like that, as leaders. And we have to accept that one thing black people have to realize, right? There's some people are going to lead, some people are going to follow. Stephen Hightower of Hightower Industries from Akron, Ohio, been in business since 1978, runs a global oil producing infrastructure, infrastructure. Now, if he says, you know something, I want to go to the Congo, I want to go to Angola, right? That's a leader. That's not some bougie, oh yeah, this, that, and the other thing. The only group of people that throw out their top people and ridicule them is us. I remember a couple of years ago, right? When Dangote became a billionaire, whatever like that, this was back in 2010, right? And I was on Blog Talk Radio. And I said, look at this man, Nigerian billionaire, richest black man in the world. You know, at the time, he was worth like $8 billion, right? Whatever. And I thought that this was a so-called intellectual group, right? They was on Blog Talk and they had a Facebook group, right? And I said, yeah, man, this is great, man, a Nigerian billionaire. What would I know? See, I'm prepared for this stuff now because, oh man, you know the white man put him there. I said, he's an industrialist. All his money was made in Nigeria with Nigerian banks, Nigerian money. How is he a puppet of the West? Tell me what is he puppeteering? No, the white man don't let nobody become no billionaire unless blah, 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 blah. We're the only race of people that do that. We'll see somebody exceptional like Aliko Dangote and find a reason how to use this mythical white supremacy thing to say, oh, he's part of white supremacy, blah, 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 blah. So what's the alternative? That was like 12, 13 years ago. Where are these guys at now? Oh, see, but you got to understand, you know, Kala, you know, the average person is not benefiting from, okay, fine. But you live in America where there's billionaires and everything. Are you benefiting from these white billionaires like Warren Buffett and everybody? No. So there should be no black billionaires that will make you happy. So if Aliko Dangote didn't disappear tomorrow, he's like, oh man, I don't know how he's like this. You know, he's a billionaire, man. He's a capitalist. Blah 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 blah. So there should be Aliko Dangote, you know, producing goods and commodities for Nigeria. They should just import, let white people do it and everything, and there should be no billionaires that basically take over the Nigerian economy and get rich off the Nigerian economy. This is what I'm talking about. And these are groups, these are guys that call themselves Pan-Africanists. But they're not Pan-Africanists. They're P.A.I.N.Os. Pan-Africanists in name only. A Pan-Africanist be like, yeah, that guy basically, Aliko Dangote, is a model. If he could do it, then we could do it. We need more of him. Now, I don't agree with everything Dangote does in his business structure, but I'd rather have Dangote than not have him. He makes cement, you know. You know, he makes concrete, he makes juices, he makes all different types of products. Now he just built a refinery in Nigeria. He has Dangote Town. He built small towns for his workers and stuff like that. They give them housing modeled after Mitsubishi and Toyota. Toyota and Mitsubishi have their own little mini cities where workers and families could live together in nice houses and everything, and for really cheap. Is that bad? Creating jobs for people? Sending people to get education and building? But to the P.A.I.N.O, the fake Pan-Africanist, that's sacrilege. You know, a black man talking about business and banking and financing and stuff like that. Oh man, you can't do that. We have to get rid of the P.A.I.N.Os, the Pan-Africanist name only. We don't flee, these codes don't run. That sounds like a white guy. We don't flee, we don't run, we don't flee. You know? We don't run, you know? You know, let me ask this. I would love for this FBA lineage guy to come on and have a friendly spirit debate with me. Would you please come on? If you don't flee and something like that, why are you running for me? Why don't you get on this platform and tell us how you feel? Because the FBA, for the most part, these guys are cowards. They will not face the collagenesis. You don't have any balls. You don't have any testicular fortitude. You know you don't believe in the shit you're saying. If you did, you would get up here and defend it. You know? FBA leaders. I don't. These guys are so alien to me. I don't know. Who is FBA? Are they white people, black people? They sure don't sound like no real black people I know. The black man in America has been going to places like Paris. Do you understand the African Americans settled in Russia? There was an African American community there in like after the Bolsheviks in the 1917, 18 that went to Russia and showed the Russians how to farm and stuff like that, rural parts of Russia. You know those African Americans that settled in Panama and Mexico, Baja California, called Little Liberia? You know there's African American community still exists in Dominican Republic? You know there's an African American people that settled Liberia? Do you know there's an African American community? The first modern black community was in Johannesburg, South Africa, called Sophia Town and all stuff like this. Do you understand that the African Methodist Episcopal Church and the Soweto Gospel Choir all came from African Americans that lived in South Africa? We're not beholden to the borders of America. The America is a white man's manifest destiny, see the shining sea. Where the FBA people are nothing but chocolate-covered white people. You know, we're not beholden to the borders of America. Wherever we are, we're going to still have our culture and so we are our identity. So, oh yeah, we're fleeing. Black people have been migrating out of America for 200 years. This is nothing new. But you FBA people are such cowards. You don't think you could do anything outside the white man system. You can't even show me where you have any power in America. They gave you cities like Detroit, Baltimore, and everything, and you ran them to the fucking ground. Gary, Indiana, a completely ghost town. Show me what you have to gain and just sticking to the playbook. You cannot have two races of people competing enemy race of people in America. We can live in America, but we're not going to be able to do our best here. We can do okay. We're doing all right. There's a lot of people doing all right. You know?
This FBA guy think otherwise.
Yeah. I watched your out of control cycle with Nakmeezy. What did I say with out of control cycle with Nakmeezy? We had a spirited fucking debate. You know, I'm not gonna yell. I'll mute myself and let you talk. You know, I'll mute myself and let you talk. Yeah, we need strong technocracies. You know, everything's about technology and technocracy. We do not need democracy. Democracy for the black race is premature. Democracy means idiots get elected and whatnot because they got the right tribal background, whatever like that. You got morons running governments. Socrates hated democracy. Socrates was absolutely 100% right. He said when you have elections and everything like that and you're going by the whims of people, demagogues come, they get elected, they steal the money and everything like that, misappropriate, and the people still elect them because long as he's handing out welfare and free food and stuff like that, you know, he'll still keep you elected. Socrates also said that one time. He said, "Look, he said if you're on a boat, right, and you got 4 or 5 people that know where the rocks are and how to navigate, right, and instead of them taking control of the boat and steering in the right direction, you're going to put it to a vote. Well, the people that don't know what's to vote the wrong people in, they're going to steer the boat into the rocks." That's what he said about democracy. America is not a democracy. America is a republic with a democratic process. We went from Africa jumped right into not the democratic process, not being a strong state with institutions and a technocracy. We just jump right into democracy. Oh, whatever you feel, you vote. You know, you vote on your feelings. And that's why countries like Ghana, and because like India is failing. Look at India, look at China. China's a technocracy, right? They lifted 500 million people into the middle class. India, the same 500 million people with all the democracies, everything, are still living in abject poverty. So we have to rethink a lot of this stuff that we talk about. Oh, we have a Democrat elected. I mean, my good brother Diana Samir, love him, love that brother to death, right? But he's like praising the re-election of the current president of Sierra Leone, his friend. I'm like, you know, I'm not happy about, you know, any election. You know, what does it mean? Is Sierra Leone become industrialized? Is it going to be anything? No. People elect people who they like. It doesn't matter whether, I don't know the whole situation in Sierra Leone, but the bottom line is I don't get excited about elections anymore. I don't. Because once people get in power, they just do what they normally do or not, you know, and say, okay, we got 4 years, 5 years, whatever, how many years to get up, get all the loot and live good and stash money and everything like that. And then if we can steal the next election, rig it, whatever like that, you know, that's all a game. And in Africa, right, to validate that, right, Africans always go, this is the thing, power in Africa is not derived from the people, right? It's derived from who invites them to lunch in Europe. When you see your president, he's a crook, he has did nothing, right? Sitting down with Macron or Biden and everything. Oh, yeah, he's telling you that I'm in charge. I'm in charge because the white man in Europe tells me I'm in charge. President Xi tells me I'm in charge. The Arabs tell me I'm in charge. So you know you can't get out of line because they recognize me as a leader. That's why African leaders always going to Europe. You think any African leaders, they didn't have the money for their own buses, right? They got on the coach bus, right? They knew they been showing their black ass up to the Queen's funeral, or that been their black asses. Is that we better show up on that because next thing you know, some dissident is gonna get in their ear and get favor with it. It's all about who got the most favor with the Europeans. And people are okay with this because they're P.A.I.N.Os. They're Pan-Africans in name only. I have a serious problem with this. The power should come from the people. Not just the people, but the fact of the matter is the people and the society. You have to have a middle-class society that's thriving and everything, that have a mandate. You're building our country. You did all the right thing. I believe Paul Kagame has a mandate. That's why he did 3 terms. He might do a 4th term because he has a mandate. Look where Rwanda is 10 years from being a first world country. And there's people criticizing him. Oh, he's a dictator. He's a dictator. He's a dictator. Using these outdated terms. Go online, look at Paul. All the Europeans are always trying to debate Paul Kagame. What about your opposition? Who are these opposition? I said this a week ago when we first came back, right? I asked a question, right? And I would love people to get on here like this. When you heard, and I asked my brother, Sapa, I asked him a question. When you hear the term political prisoners, dissident, or student groups, what do you think of? Right away in your mind, you automatically think of sympathy, righteousness. But don't you know the powers that be know that? He's a political prisoner. The political prisoner could be a crook, a murderer, a thug, a bloodsucker, a deceiver. But you all, because in our mind, if he's a political prisoner, that means he must be doing something right. We as Black people in America, Black America is very dangerous when it comes to that. We automatically assume that someone who's going against the grain has the right thing. And we don't look at the situation. Let me, for example, Mugabe. It broke my heart how many so-called African Americans turned their back on Mugabe. Oh, he's a dictator. Do you understand? He was trying to save his country from the white people. Now the Africans are so beaten down, they welcome the whites back to take over their land. If the blacks are working the farms, white people have nothing to do but come there and show up in their little khakis and everything, and they own the land and everything, while the black people who work the land, who indigenous land, who do all the farm work, right, become their workers again. And then when Mugabe was arrested, wherever, put on house arrest and everything, everybody, I'm glad he's gone. He's a dictator. I heard that from people who call themselves Pan-Africanists. Same thing happened with Charles Taylor. Oh, I'm glad he's a dictator. He's a dictator. Do you understand? When you go to Liberia, they said, man, I miss Charles Taylor because this country was in order. The West hated Charles Taylor. Yeah, he's a dictator. Well, what is he in jail for? The war that happened in Sierra Leone. They didn't even. What happened in the Sierra Leone war? How come nobody from Sierra Leone went to jail? And who was the International Criminal Court? That was in The Hague. How did Charles Taylor end up in London? Nobody in the so-called Pan-African sphere talks about this. They're friggin' the United States government, right? Charles Taylor, he could have stayed in power. He said, you know something? To save bloodshed and everything like that, even though the rebels and everything like that, they never got punished. He was the head of state. So he just started to defend his country and everything. And so he said, I'll step down if it's going to save lives. But instead of for him having a safe passage in Nigeria, friggin' some CIA people run out and say, hand them over to us. And the United States handed over the Hague, but the United States is not even a signature to the Hague, the International Criminal Court. But everybody celebrate, oh, Charles Taylor's gone. Charles Taylor's gone. He's a dictator. What makes him a dictator? Because the West calls him a dictator? It was just like with Tolbert and whatnot, you know. Oh, the students were rioting and the rights riots rioting and whatnot, you know. Complete friggin' fabrication of what was going on and everything. They destabilized the country. The same thing that happened in Liberia happened in Iran. The same year. No, well, actually, it was like a year before that, you know. Then they put the Shah in power. Because you hear words like the student uprising. the student protests, you know, political dissidents. And we got people who got platforms on YouTube haven't got the political education before they get online or whatnot to understand what's going on in the world, and they start running their friggin' mouth. It's just a friggin' mess. But this platform right here is going to be one platform as long as I'm here online where the truth is going to be told. You know, I don't want to hear about this. I know for a fact of the matter, when it really all said and done, right? The Europeans, the white people want what they want, right? And the bottom line is this, you know, no black people have the strength, the ability to challenge them. But we will. Not everybody in Africa worship whites. No, I don't believe that. No, it's just a reality of the fact that, you know, Europeans handed them independence, right? But they never handed Africa real independence. They handed them dependence. You know, and that was no independence movement in Africa. Everything you saw in Africa with the independence movement was a farce. So nothing in Africa was handed. There's no the independence movement would never existed in Africa. Never did. There's no damn independence. Because Africa refused to go to war for independence. You go and get your independence through bloodshed. And Africa has to believe in itself. If you don't believe in yourself, you believe the only way you could educate your kids by sending them to their colleges or going overseas and also like that. The most precious thing you can do in Africa is send your kid. Oh, my kid goes to Cambridge. He goes to some prestigious European universities. Instead of building the universities, making your universities world class, but people are coming to you. You waste money and time going over to Europe, living in Paris, Brussels, all these shithole countries in Europe. Now we're saying, the Pan-African movement for America saying, let's build institutions in Africa. And we're getting all this damn pushback. We get every excuse in the freaking book. The Judean Empire, the Khazarian Empire, the Afrodamus Empire. Everybody's sitting in America, sitting in the West and whatnot, in their rinky-dink apartments, talking about that so-called fiefdom and their empires that they want to so-called build. Nobody's talking about a race-based nation building, a technocracy, because we don't want to be that intelligent people. The Asians did it with the Bang Bell Conference, 1955. They said 300 years of this dominated by Europeans and everything. Let's build Asia. What is it about other races of people? They love themselves enough to take a chance on themselves. They love themselves enough to give themselves their own kind the benefit of the doubt. It's just a mess, folks. It's just a mess. So nobody wants to call in?
No one.
I'm undefeated, bro. I'm undefeated.
So that is the link, family. Join us if you're ready to connect with Color Genesis on the topic of the night.
Your P.A.I.N.Os. You know, if you're not talking about certain key things, you're a Pan-African in name only. If you're not talking, if you haven't given an opinion about Amazonia, you're a P.A.I.N.O. If you haven't talked about Biafra, then you're a friggin' yo, I'm doing all right, man. I got smoke. I'm getting nervous, man. I'm getting nervous. If you're basically haven't given an opinion about Biafra, serious situation, you're a P.A.I.N.O. If you haven't given an opinion about the whites in South Africa and the sanctions on Zimbabwe, which is racist and white supremacist and everything, you are a P.A.I.N.O. You're a Pan-Africanism in name only. But if you're sitting around talking about gossiping and stupid stuff about African Americans eating, begging on the street with no proof, whatever like that, you are a P.A.I.N.O. If you're using the Pan-African world to spread gossip and innuendo and foolish and everything, you are a P.A.I.N.O. You're a Pan-Africanism in name only. And I'm sick and tired of people along for the free ride. Yeah, this is one platform where you're going to get real Pan-Africanist thought. The bottom line is this, folks. Back in the days in South Africa, they had a movement called the Alma Malinka. You know what the Alma Malinka was? It was right around the time of the Garvey movement. It was a Garvey movement in South Africa. In the Transkei, they believed they knew that they were being destroyed through race and everything, and the Alma Malinka people wanted an all-out race war in South Africa, and they believed there was an omen. They believed it was an omen that was 100 years old. Believed that a strong race of black men from the north was going to come there and wage Armageddon and drive the whites and all these race traders out of Africa. That was Alma Malinka. So this is not just us. We have a race of people that's suffering because we don't want to fight. North Korea has nuclear missiles. Pakistan has nuclear missiles. India has nuclear missiles. Russia has nuclear missiles. All these countries have industrial bases. What bases do we have? Where's our military? Where's our military industrial complex? Where's anything? Where's our submarines? You mean tell me these guys can make a makeshift submarine go 2 miles to see a friggin' goddamn the Titanic, and there's not one black country that got a freaking submarine that can protect African waters if need be? This is what I mean. The Pan-Africanists want to protect the motherland, the continent, the shores, the coast, the water, everything. Africa is our base. And anything that goes on the continent, we have to be concerned about. That's what it means to be a real Pan-Africanist. You want to protect the mother continent. That means we put our differences aside and look at the bigger picture. That's what Asians do, that others do. But hey, do we do that? No. Chinese, Vietnamese fishing trawlers just come up right up the African coast, take our fish. Chinese mining concessions just come in and take what they want, like taking candy from a baby. Pay a couple of officials off, and it's all good. This is Africa, Carla. You understand how we do? No, I'm sorry. The real Pan-Africans want to see the root of Pan-Africa is what? Black power. If you're not talking about black power, black infrastructure, black nationhood, it ain't real Pan-Africanism. Just anything goes in the black race, is whatever, and calling it Pan-Africanism, that's sorry. Them days are gone. This is a war. If we don't win this war, then we don't deserve to be remembered. Nobody's going to remember your damn YouTube channel 100 years from now. Nobody's going to remember your stupid ass speeches. They are going to remember when you build cities and you build towns and you fortify those things. You build them to the highest level of black excellence. They're going to remember that. So we're just on the beaten path tonight. We're ranting.
No,
Right?
Kyler, you're dropping the science, man. But if you're ready to close, man, we can close. And you can
I want
keep
to give
the
a couple
door.
of minutes to see if anybody wants to come on. I want to see if anybody wants to come on. Anybody wants to come on? You want to come on, say something? You know, come on, say hello. You know, come on here, talk to the College Genesis. What do you think about the term Pan-Africanism and Pan-African name only? Now, I'm willing to give people some slack because I don't expect everybody to be on my thought process and level. But I am going to start checking these people with this stupidity online because evidently people are getting the impression of what called Pan-Africanism, what they see on YouTube. The real Pan-Africanists are not on YouTube. The real black nationalists are not on YouTube. They're not talking gossip and talking a bunch of nonsense. They're actually putting in work. So I ain't talk about I ain't talk. Maybe I should save Umar Johnson for tomorrow night. No, we're gonna talk about Ivory Press, Umar.
You can go down the list of all of the Paninos.
Let me talk about Umar, right? And I don't hate Umar Johnson, but like I said, I'm my brother's keeper. He talks about individualism. When has Umar Johnson ever done anything with anybody else? Where's his partners at? Where's his group at? Yeah, he talks about individual when he's being dismissive of people doing that. You're going to be dismissive of when somebody says, I'm raising my kid. Well, that's you as an individual. You as an individual. The only responsibility in the Bible is you have a seed, you take care of it. That's the only responsibility you have. You have no responsibility to take care of all the kids in the community. Let me tell you something how this world works, in case Umar don't have any street smarts, right? Like 2 years ago, right, I had a client of mine, right? Good brother. He was an iron worker. He was making like $40 an hour, right? He's an iron worker, right? And I was trying to take care of his father, right? And then he basically said, I'm injured. I said, what happened? I got shot in the back, in Portland. I said, oh, yeah, I remember that case, right? I said, tell me what happened. He said, there was this one girl in the neighborhood in Portsmouth, right? She was real fine, fine, right? Real drop dead. she's some red bone chick. She's fine, right? Anyway, he was just friends with her. And he said, we're just friends. I come over sometime, whatever like that. We don't do nothing. We're just kicking it, Anyway, there was this one guy in the neighborhood, right, who liked her and didn't have no kids with her, nothing like that. But anybody that came up to that house, right, he said, I don't want nobody going to that house. So anyway, he told the dude, man, I want you to stay away from her. He said, dude, the girl said, we ain't together, like that. Nah, okay, but I like you, but like that, right? So anyway, the dude.
What's up, Kyla?
What's going on, bro? Let me tell my story first, brother. I know you're gonna go
ahead. Go ahead.
Welcome to the show.
What's up, Bomani?
What's up, brother? Anyway, the guy one night he was getting into his truck, right? And dude said, "Hey," and bop, 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 shot him in the back, right? He has a bullet lodged in his spine, right? And the doctors told him, right, he barely lived, right? He was in a coma for like a couple of days. I said, I remember that case, right? He said, yeah, the guy is out on bail, whatever like that, He said, I can't work, whatever like that. I'm in pain all the time, everything. So what I did was I got him Social Security. I got him everything. I said, look, this is what you need to do. I didn't get paid for this, right? I took my time, got him Social Security. I got him disability. I got him all this stuff like that. He said, I didn't know I could do it. I said, yeah, you got benefits. I showed him everything he can get, right? He said, man, I'm good. I'm going to therapy, everything like that. I thank you, man. God bless you and everything. But the point I'm trying to make about this is this. When you go into these communities, right, and you got a bunch of single mothers, right, you also got a bunch of niggas around. And you're putting yourself in danger. So I'm going to go out there and just go start mentoring these boys and all this kind of stupid shit like that. You know, you're putting yourself in danger. You know, I'm not saying that's no excuse not to do it, but I'm saying is that's stuff like that could happen. Now he was just friends with this girl, but that happens awful lot. You know, if you go out there, if you talk to somebody's son, you play basketball, son, next thing and you say something, yeah, you just all of a sudden next thing follow, well, you talking to my son? What you say to him? Oh no, I was just, yo, I'm his father. You know, I'm his father. You know, you don't talk to my son, whatever about anything. You know, you gotta know I'm telling the truth. You know, hey, Bomani, how about that? What would you think about that? You're your son. Let's say your son was out somewhere, some guy just talking to your son without you knowing and putting things in his head, whatever. Even if he's trying to be helpful, you would say, "Look, that's me. That's my son. I raised him." You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
You know? So how's Umar expect you to just go out there, not knowing the situation, not know nothing, and start getting kids like? They understand these are human beings, children.
Well, I mean, he's the princess of Pan-Africanism.
He's a prince of pan pizza and shit, you know? Yeah. All right, Nee, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Doing good, brother. This brother was in Hawaii, man. I said, man, nigga, bring your black ass back here. Nigga in Hawaii, man.
Niggas can't go to Hawaii.
Oahu and whatnot. I said, well, nigga, remember Enter the Dragon? Oh, he ain't going to Hawaii. Remember that? This nigga up in Hawaii and whatnot, you know?
Look, Kyla, I only got two things to tell you. Stop smoking them nasty ass cigars. That's one. And two, my father told me a long time, black people cannot operate under white people's systems, right?
Yes.
Foot to ass.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing we understand. Foot to ass.
That's the only thing we understand right now.
It's unfortunate, but it's the truth.
Black people don't understand nothing but force.
You told me this a long time ago. You told me this a long time ago. Check this out.
Yeah,
you told me a long time ago. Black people, we don't know how to be free. That's the problem.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it. We don't know
look how we acting. Look how we acting under white people's rule.
Yeah.
Look what they did at the BET Awards and all that shit.
Dude, man, you know, we don't know how we wouldn't know how to be free.
We don't know how to be free. We need
we
need chieftaincies. We need, people over us. Once in a while we get out of line. They smack you in the ass a little bit, get you straight, and you fly straight. That's how it is.
Yeah, that's why I said we run this operation right now as a dictatorship,
Technocracies with a hint of dictatorship.
That's what I'm saying. The technology where people build and people I think. What do you think of what I said about Adangate? I had a debate with some Negroes, so-called Pan-African intellectuals years ago. When they tried everything in their book to try to discredit Adangate. Oh, the white supremacy and everything. And I was trying to tell them. I said, this guy.
We don't believe we're good enough. That's our problem. We don't believe we can be rich and all this type of stuff. We don't believe
it. And like Umar said, see, white man's going to make sure there's a couple of us that are rich. So in other words, LeBron James,
like they ain't got no talent.
Javon James just was given $1 billion contract. It was like, yeah, okay, Umar, thanks for telling me that.
Well, I'm about to get off, but salute to you, brother Bomani. I met you before. I don't know if you remember me.
Oh yes, absolutely, brother. I remember you, man. All good.
Castle.
Appreciate your energy.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna give you a call tomorrow, brother.
Okay.
All right, brother. Peace.
All right, family.
Peace. That brother got 1,000 guns.
Keep on giving you pure fire.
Yeah, that brother got 1,000 guns, man. That guy got an arsenal and army, man. He can take over the world. That motherfucker that's a gun lover brother right there, bro. That brother got guns. He got guns a mile long and shit. So that's my brother right there. I'm a big brother to a lot of people, bro. I'm like the big brother out of everybody. But yeah, so we gotta keep doing what we're doing, man. We just tell it like it is, It's a militant movement, It's a militant movement and everything. Man, we get these ADOS FBA people on our side to understand something. This is about nation building. This is nation building time, We're part of the black nation, The black nation is eternal. Whether we live on Mars, the moon, or Jupiter, we're a people. We're not bound to no 50 states of America and stuff like that. We're global. And also, we're just waiting for the right countries in Africa to realize that. We start building these territories and everything like that, and then we'll be free. But then again, like I said, we wouldn't know what freedom would look like. You know, we self-sabotage our own freedom. Damn, man, you mean tell me I could go to Liberia? Yeah, you could have went to Liberia. We could have went to Liberia 100 years ago. Then wouldn't be going to this. But what about the struggle? Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? If we could build our own nation, what the fuck we need to fucking struggle for? We don't know what it's like to be free. We don't want to know what it's like to be free. Show me any Pan-Africans who give you a vision of an end game. Bomani. You know, show me anybody say, yeah, this is what this.
I can't think of any, bro. They know me. That none come to my head. That's why the topic tonight is your favorite YouTubers are Pan-Africanists in name only.
Yeah,
P.A.I.N.O. Paninos.
And also now the Pan-African movement is about drama and gossip. You know, that's Pan-Africanism, talking about the Bag family, talking about this person right here and everything, foolishness and God. You know, I thought the Pan-African movement, let's focus on nation building.
There you go, brother. Give out your report card.
You know, so with that, I would have to give my brother O'Shea Duke Jackson a C-. He gets a C- tonight. And hold up. I got some funny. It's something funny, right? Hold up. I have to give him a C-. And I have to give him a.
Now you're ready to help people custom.
Oh, it'll be up in a second. Hold up. So with that tonight, folks, we give O'Shea Duke Jackson, because he's a beginner in this, right? We'll give him a C-. I mean, 2 years ago, he started out good with Kendandra. I thought it was going to be positive. But now, as a brother was once saying, he didn't mention his name, was you take your platform, right, and you start talking stuff about African Americans and everything. And like you said, Uganda, I said, why is all this stuff happening in Uganda, right, all of a sudden? And I do have something to do with that Kendandra channel. You know, O'Shea has a way of just talking about black people in America like we ain't shit. And so a lot of people from Uganda listen to his show and that. So why are black people this? Why are black people this? Where are they getting this shit from? You know, that's the only thing I can think of. Why Uganda is like that, not the rest of Africa, the region. So, like I said, Pan-Africanism in name only. And I hope the show reaches O'Shea, and maybe he can reach out to me and understand why I said what I said. And then I don't think he cares. Why? Because when people on YouTube, they don't care about anything other than clicks, views, likes, and ratings. That's all they care about. You know, the Pan-African thing is just a means to an end. People just riding along with it. They didn't think it was going to last this long and whatnot. You know, I'll ride up until, damn, man, it's been years, man. Carl's still around and we're doing this. Yeah. You want to get off, you want to quit, go right ahead. Bomani and I aren't going anywhere. We're going to see this thing through. Yo, you think we're just going to pack up and say, you know something, we had enough. We're just gonna no, it's not going to work like that. We're going to see this thing through. So after 2 years, 3 years, Kendandra, and you're starting to fall back into the O'Shea Duke Jackson celebrity junk, and that's what you is, instead of being doing productive stuff, giving us news and everything like that that's going on in the continent, everything that's productive. and you're doing gossip and foolishness and nonsense, I'm gonna start holding people accountable for this stuff. So, with that, man, we could end it tonight, brother.
That's it, man. You only got one report card, one person.
Yeah, one. I want to do one person a day. I don't want to load it up. We'll find somebody else tomorrow night. You know, I just want to talk about that. That's why I sent you a video. You know, O'Shea gets a C minus. You know,
What video?
That video you played. That brother in Tanzania.
All right, that video. I thought you talking about another video.
No. That brother in Tanzania. You know, that was just, poignant. Because it's like he lives in Tanzania. It's like, what are these? Why? The people starting to ask the question: why are we being attacked? Why are we being attacked? Why is this happening? I thought we were supposed to go to Africa to find peace. That's at least what I thought. And you're being attacked. People asking you questions. Why African Americans? Why? Goddamn, where did all this come from? And the thing I'm trying to say is, the guy was saying, white people are going there doing the nastiest shit. The nastiest shit to African women, We don't rock like that. Say what you want about Black America, right? We don't get involved with the pedophilia and the exploitation of women and stuff like that. We don't do that shit, These guys be doing all kinds of vile shit in the continent and getting away with it. So we gotta give our people credit. For the most part, our people are law-abiding. You don't really see any real incidents of African Americans committing crimes or anything on the continent that I know about. I mean, just some people scamming and hustling, but I don't see nobody robbing and doing all kinds of shit like that. I don't remember seeing an African American getting arrested for carjacking somebody. Something like that. See, I don't see. Maybe it happened. I don't know, but for the most part, brothers just trying to just do their thing.
There you go, Carla.
Absolutely.
You gotta give out one more report card, man, Carla. You've been talking about two people, man, and you gotta give out a report card in the second person. You gotta break it down.
Umar Johnson.
There you go, rock on.
Okay, well, lately, Umar, for the most part, Umar calls himself the Prince of Pan-Africanism. But when I want to talk about things that's actually going on the continent, I don't go with the Umar. I mean, I find more insight when I'm listening to Kazorian's show than I do the great Dr. Umar. I'm like, damn, Umar, what's your opinion on Amazonia? What's your opinion on this? What's going over here? What's your opinion on this right here? What's your opinion? None. Africa is just like when Umar says Africans. Look, politically, okay, so I guess we're all Africans, right? But when we start talking about race and culture and stuff like that, that's African Americans. Our situation with the white man in America, that's African Americans. It's not African. That's not Africans from the continent, right? So to secure the lines, you're basically erasing our heritage, erasing our history, and just lumping us all in one thing, making it seem like it's not significant. It is very significant. Black people in America have an attachment to the United States. We've been here for 400 years. So you can't be dismissive of that when it's to your convenience without having an alternative to replace it with. And then those African Americans who live on the continent. Why hasn't Umar Johnson even acknowledged that? Has he ever commented on the African Americans community that lives in Ghana, anything like that, Gambia, or anything? Has he ever commented or connected with anybody that we know about? Has he even mentioned any African American businesses in development or success over the last few years on the continent, or repatriation? Has he even talked about that? No. Africa is this vague abstraction to Umar, and to him it works with people who don't read, who not keeping up. Oh yeah, Africa, the Pan-African. Look, we have to do when we start talking about Pan-Africanism, first of all, you got to write Nigeria off. But Nigeria's doing their own thing. Nigerians are not going to see our path. The people who are most Pan-Africans are the people who live in the West and the people who don't have any land. The people in Africa who control everything, they're not thinking about Pan-Africa. They're just trying to win. They're trying to maintain power. They're trying to get rich. They're trying to do whatever they can do to survive and build that. I said to WizKid, I said, look, how do you win in Africa? You go to Africa, build something, create something, and show yourself as useful. Then they'll listen to what you got to say about Pan-Africanism. You can't come to Africa empty-handed with a bunch of talk. And that's all we've been getting is a bunch of talk. Now, when you're building something, creating something, and you're putting people on, and you're connecting, and people say that you're doing like this guy Lucas, this guy that created the Lucas Medical Center in Ghana. Now that's remarkable. He was able to do that and get the right investors and everything to build that surgical center in Ghana. But you would think that guy's a doctor. Umar Johnson's a doctor. Now this guy's not all over the YouTube and everything running his mouth. He just did what he needed to do. You would think Umar Johnson built a surgical center in Ghana. The reason why he called himself the Prince of Pan-Africanism. So as far as like Pan-Africanism is concerned, we have to give. I'll give Umar. I will give him a B minus. No, I'll give him a B. I'll give him a B minus. I'll give him a B minus. So he's in the.
You're very generous today.
Yeah, I'm giving a B minus, right? It could change things because I have not heard him say. I have not heard his opinion on anything. I have not heard his opinion. What do you think about the Lucas Institute in Ghana, Umar? You're a Pan-Africanist, right? You should be talking about that. Has he talked about that? No. You should be using your platform instead of catering to these stupid hood rat chicks and whatnot, talking about the Pan-African. Has Umar Johnson talked about and mentioned Bomani Tyehimba, his tremendous movement he's doing? No. Has Umar Johnson even mentioned Pan-African Strikes Back? Has Umar Johnson, he's talking about black institutions and black this, that, and the other thing. Did Umar Johnson move his platform to black-owned platforms and everything like that? Say, we're going to be so pro-black that I'm only streaming, I'm not using Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, none of that no more. I'm only using black-owned platforms. Did he do that? No. So how can he call himself a black power Pan-Africanist, right, where he has no black power Pan-Africanist infrastructure? So I'm gonna give him a B minus, and I'm being generous, I'm giving Omar a B minus. If Omar's watching this, man, you can turn it around, bro. You can get up to a B plus or A minus, right? By doing the fucking right thing. Stop being a pompous idiot and fucking start getting down to work and working with the real Pan-Africanists. So Umar gets a B minus today, and that's being very generous. And the only reason why he gets that high is because he has traveled and he does stuff like this. So we got more coming, folks. More. I think I was very fair with that,
Excellent, Kyle. Excellent.
We have, like I said, when Umar was asked about Umar, right? And somebody said, "Oh, the Chinese are taking over Africa." Okay, give us some specifics, Umar. What do you talk about? There's a lot of Africans who like the Chinese, some who don't. What do you think about the Chinese investing all this money in African infrastructure? Can you give us a breakdown, infrastructure by infrastructure, like that? Be specific, Umar. No, he hasn't taken time to study what's going on the continent to make an assessment. So I'm being generous by giving him a B minus. So more coming in the Pan-African report card. How do you stack up? How do you stack up in the Pan-African report card by Bomani Tyehimba and College Genesis?
Yes, Kala. Excellent breakdown and analysis. Another great one. So yes, brother, we can continue the live energy strong tomorrow.
Yeah.
As you connect with us, family, as we give you more Pan-African content and Pan-African energy and talk about the real movement that so much people out there faking.
You have to be informed. If people can't, if we start talking about different countries and everything like that, you need to know what's going on in each country. You know, I've been slipping lately. I should know more about Sierra Leone. I'd be honest with you, I should know more. You know, but I'm keen to Liberia, Nigeria, Ghana, Angola, South Africa, countries I'm really, really interested in. You know, and so therefore, I think play by play, we should know what's going on when there's incidents happening and everything like that. President Ruto's speech, right? Has Umar Johnson commented on that? No. Has he talked about that? No. But where's Umar's claim to be the Prince of Pan-Africanism, right? Where the major events that go on the continent, he's nowhere to be found.
My brother is a renowned scholar, brother. He's on all these TV shows and all these shows and everything. And he's educating people about, you know what I mean? All the things he needs to educate people about. You know, weak black men.
It's a black man in America's fault for everything. Yeah, thanks. You know, I thought that was a white man was saying that. Now you got a black man saying it. You know, it's all our fault. Okay. Thanks, Umar. It's all our fault.
Yes, brother. Yes. So let me just flow up to a few comments, you know, that people had. This is Baruti.
Oh Lord, Baruti, man, you've been hanging out with that other group, you know. I'm gonna start calling you Baruti the Fruity, you know. Jabari and Holub, you know. Colin, can you connect with scenarios and sort of any affirmative? Look, first of all, it's not going to affect black people. Let me break this down to you, right? The Supreme Court said in the affirmative action, first of all, it was basically saying race-based, right? It said race is a consideration. You don't get into college because you're black, right? But what happened was some colleges were using race as a criteria for diversity admission, right? And the white supremacists, along with the Asians, got rid of that, right? Saying that the Asians, let's say they fit all the categories, but the one race, we got to have a black person. So what this does is this, right? It says the one thing that, let's say the Asian and blacks are tied, right? And they all have all the different criteria for admission. We don't have any black person, right? So we have too many Asians, so we got to put a black person in. Here's the thing I want to talk about as far as the Asian community, right? Where are the Asian colleges in America? Look, there's a billion Chinese alone in America that all want to come to America and everything like that. We don't have a billion college things for them. You know, these Vietnamese, well, we came to this country. Who? Nobody asked these Vietnamese, these people, Asians to come to America. They come here entitled. Where are the Asians that are going to the skilled trades? Where are the Asians that are going to civil service? So you because you're Asian, because you got good grades, you're entitled to college and everything. We don't have enough. They say who's going to pick the fruit in Florida? Why don't some of these Asians, instead of going to college, right, go down there and pick the fruit in Florida? Everybody think they're entitled to a college education. Now I'm loving how this is going to play out, right? Because now they say the Supreme Court says affirmative action like that. It's not going to affect black people. It's not. The only black people it's going to affect is mostly the people who did this were black immigrants, you know, because Harvard will say, okay, we need a black, whatever like that. And the people that usually get these things are black immigrants or whatever like that, you know, put in these positions, the so-called affirmative action slot. We got certain slot. But now they don't got rid of that. Majority of black people are now going to African-American historical black colleges. What we need to do in the HBCUs, right, is return favor. You know how many white people did I know graduate from Norfolk State historical black colleges and everything? They get their degrees, and when they come in there, I'm going to a historical black college. We need to get their fucking asses out of our colleges now. You know, we should fight fire with fire now. Let's play that game. They're gonna say you're racist. You're racist. So what? You don't want us in your college and everything? Fine. You know, race is definitely a consideration when white people are being chosen to go to black college, because we want to see that we play this stupid ass diversity game. So let's return thing. We're not powerless, folks. You know, I hope I answered this question. Is Baruti still on? I hope I answered this question. I'm not gonna cry over that. We got our own black colleges. Let's build our own black. This should basically say, you know something? Fuck America. Let's build this Pan-African world with our institutions. If we get to the black institutions, one thing the Pan-African world never had is the real full backing of the academia. The academia has been, black academia has been America's ass and integration ass and colorblind's ass so far that they can see out their fucking mouth. Now we're saying they're real Pan-Africans and there's a real opportunity that we could build in Africa, you know? So the bottom line is this. And I feel bad for it. I'm not no FBA shit. I don't feel bad for my African and Caribbean immigrants, but things about to change. People thought you were gonna hurt African Americans. No, you're not hurting us. The black immigrants are gonna hurt. Because they're the ones that get these scholarships and everything. They're competing with somebody from fucking Cambodia and everything. And if now if the Cambodian and everything like that scores higher and everything, they don't have a spotlight for black people. That's going to leave a lot of people from Haiti and Nigeria out. So that's not my fight. That is not my fight. I feel bad for them, but that's not my fight. I will never be in a position, right? Where anything I do, everything, when you see Pan-Africanist, right? A real Pan-Africanist, right? Nothing that I want, right? Any white person has any power over anything. Everything, 99% of everything that we need to succeed is to be done through the decision of black people. Am I telling the truth, Bomani? Everything we do,
absolutely, brother, you're right on point.
It's all we have to do is get our own people in fucking line. We don't need to talk about no systemic racism like Umar does and shit like that. That's just always going to fucking be there. What we're talking about, our end goal is nationhood. And to do that, all you need is black people, the black minds and black people working together. We don't need fucking white people. They have nothing to do with this. That's real Pan-Africanism. We don't need fucking white people to do this. And the control and the influence over the black mind. That's why. Why do you think they come in and they want to take over Ebony Magazine? They want to take over BET. They want to take over Essence Magazine. All these institutions and whatnot that we didn't think was worth anything. Umar Johnson says, "Oh yeah, we need black institutions." Okay, well, we start by supporting the institutions we had. We had magazine publishing. We have book publishing companies. We have all the stuff like that we have. You know, while we talk about the institutions that we do have historical black colleges. What are you talking about? We do have institutions. Let me tell you about another group of men, right? When we talk about people not doing nothing in the community, I met a couple of years ago at an event. I met these brothers called the League of Extraordinary Men. These are black men who are fraternity brothers, right? And all they do is do work in the community. They go to the worst communities and they do work in the community, whatnot, work. When I remember I met these brothers, right? They were at this event I was sitting at my table and everything. And I was like, oh, sometimes you don't break the ice. This brother walked right up to me, stuck his hand out, right? Say, hey, my name is such and such. What's your name? I was like, oh. We went to League of Extraordinary Men and whatnot. I would like to meet you. Let's talk about what we do and everything. I was like, oh yeah. I was just like, I was like, this guy got one up on me. He came up to me, introduced himself, and he said, this is what we do. We're a friend of friends. We help people and we like this, And I said, man, you guys are exceptional men. You guys are honorable men. So don't let anybody tell you that we don't have good black men out in the community. We got the new era in Detroit, O'Shea Duke Jackson was making fun of them, talking about they were basically going out there because they want to hook up. These are married men. They were out there patrolling the community, protecting their community and everything from gangs, drugs, everything like that. New era Detroit. We give them salute. We do got black men out here that's doing the work in the community. But do they get any support? Did Umar ever mention New Era Detroit? No. Does Umar, he's the League of Extraordinary Men. I'm sure they came across Umar. Does he ever talk about them? Does he talk about the black the black fraternities and everything that do tremendous work in the community, outreach and everything? No. But according to him, we ain't doing nothing. You're your brother's keeper. It's up to every person, every black man, to always have each other's back at all times. When somebody tells you something negative about your people, you point to the positive. You always defend your people. And then on the back end, like among ourselves, we're not in closed doors, we deal with the problems. We don't air our dirty laundry out to the world. We don't try to shame and humiliate our own race. It's time. I'm tired of the P.A.I.N.Os. The Pan-African name only.
Yes, Color, they're running from you tonight, man. They don't want to join the fight. But this is what your FBA brother is dropping right there.
Well, I'm not trying to get into this ADOS FBA beef or not. I wish the immigrants all the well, you know. I have no problem. Like, you got Great African. He's a Liberian brother. He sends all his kids to HBCUs. I love that, you know. And they're just, as far as I'm concerned, there's black African Americans that are being born, you know. And Wayne, she's a graduate of Howard. Where'd she go to Howard, right? You know. Yeah, she went to Howard, you know. Bro, you know, if anybody is black to join our family. I don't believe in that FBA. If you think like an African American, and we're going to demonstrate that in Liberia, when you got African Americans in Liberia working together, making money together, building together, marrying and doing all kinds of stuff like that, we're going to show you what real Pan-Africa is all about. Yeah, we are real one family. How we could create a family out of tragedy. So I don't care about that delineation. That's stupid. That's weak people. I see the bigger picture. Now, there's people that sometimes people need to be checked. Yeah, of course, we're going to have our little beefs back and forth and everything like that. But the bigger picture is, well, just like every other race is unified and everything, we do not need to be fragmented as a race right now. That was me 2 years ago. You want to play that?
Yes, absolutely. All good. All right, so family, that is the link. Family, you want to join us? We're going to take a short video break and hear some of College Genesis and one of our newest recruits that's going to be working with us on the Liberia Journey for Lifetime, Sister Bernice. She's going to be there doing interviews with us and working as an assistant. And, you know, we're going to be doing a lot of networking, a beautiful night time dinner, you know, photo shoots, you know, fashion shows, pool parties, all that good stuff. You know what I mean? We're going to get into the mix of just the beauty, you know what I mean? Kala's working with the right one. You know, we're going to deliver Liberia to the highest level. Anything you want to say about this video before
I had
get into
the food there. I wish they would show the video with me.
Yeah, man, you gotta always make sure you get that in there, man. That's why we always have to show.
They have another part of it. Well, I'm testing Liberian food. That's at a place called Evelyn's. You know, right there on 16th Street.
There you go, family. We're taking it to gourmet restaurants, man. No eating in shacks, no eating in the roadside restaurants.
Every time you go to Liberia, the way they make their restaurants and ambiance is unbelievable. You're gonna feel so much at home. You know, the way the decor is and the ambiance, the food service, the wait staff and everything. I'm saying like this. I wish I could bring like 1 million African Americans to Liberia to spend all our money, you know, and make that country just rich, you know. I want to see African Americans come to Liberia and have a blast and have a ball. Make that your home. Make that your second home. The Jews have
That's a great vision, man, and we can work towards that. You know what I'm saying? Be ready to put some hardcore work in, and we can make those things a reality.
If you want a homeland, it's there right there for you. You want a homeland, you want to be able. Let me tell you. Let me before you play video. Let me tell you how I vision is. I thought about this other day because I meditate a lot, right? I thought about this. What's my prototype of a BAIO, Association of African Americans, Africa for Africans brother, right? This is what I figure. He's a like you say, he's a pillar of the community and whatnot. This is what I envision. I'm gonna make an infomercial one day, right? Well, as you see the brother out there, he's shooting basketball with a bunch of kids, black, white, whatever like that, right? And they said he's a worker on his job. You see his boss is saying perfect job, everything like that. He's on his job doing his thing and everything like that. He's a member of his church. He's a member of his mosque, whatever like that. He does all these right things, whatnot. But there's another side to him, right? Is his connection with his homeland, you know? So in other words, basically, we're giving all the right things. We're the people we want are positive people that inspiration to others. Right? He's a role model, you know? And the bottom line is this, like this, when he goes over and he's getting in touch with his African roots, his African everything like that, while he's living in America, he's got goes overseas, he got investments, same way the Jews do and everybody else. They go to their homeland and they go to the kibbutz and work for the summer. I remember having Jewish friends when I was a kid. They spend the summer working on a communal farm called a kibbutz, you know? And they go over there and they was growing oranges, you know? And they go over there on the kibbutz and they have stuff like that. Then they come back to America, right? Finish education and, you know, do it like that. But what I'm saying is the African American needs an outlet. You need an escape. You know, we have to focus on Africa as an escape, you know, because let me tell you something, folks. The way the black community is right now is obvious, right? You're not going to fix Black America. You're not going to fix it. Now, the reason why you're not going to fix it is because the people that's supposed to be leading you, like Umar Johnson, doesn't believe it's broke. He gave the people that's destroying Black America an escape. Oh, it's not your fault and everything like that. So you gave them every excuse to keep doing what the fuck they're doing. You gave the Puerto Ricans off the hook. The Boquishas like that. So therefore, you as a black man, what you are and everything is not wanted in America anymore, in Black America. And let me be more frank with you, right? A lot of the rebellion, say youthful rebellion, every youth have a rebellion, right? People don't really talk about this, right? Much of the music and much of the FU and the fuck you culture and belligerent culture of Black America is rebellion against Black society. No one will talk about that. They want rebellion. All these rappers and all this stuff like that talking shit, they weren't rebelling against white society. They're rebelling against Black society. They were rebelling against the things about the Million Man March. They're rebelling against the Nation of Islam. They're rebelling against the Black church. They're rebelling against Black college institutions. They're rebelling against Black family, the Black marriage and everything, you know? Fuck the Black family, man. I'm gonna fuck white bitches and everything like that. So it's been a war and a rebellion against the Black community from within. And that's why the community is in the way it is right now. So when you rebel against your own community, this is what you have. So now since people destroyed our community from within, now it's time to take our nation, which is our soul, and plant our soul someplace else. It's time for that. Let's give Liberia and Ghana and other countries a chance. Because Black America just said, fuck you to us. Excuse my language. I know people tell me I'm cursing. I'm sorry. That's what the Pan-African movement is all about. We're taking the best of us and our spirit and our love and everything, because I have no more love for the community in America. I want something new. I want more. I want a nation. I'm ready for a nation of my own. We're never going to live in peace alongside white people in this country. That's never going to happen. As long as white people take the balance and everything, we're always going to be like this. It's a white man put this thing in 2019, right? There's an article that was had in Stanford and everything that in a top university in America, a study that said black women should consider dating outside their race. Why would you say that? It was applauded by the likes of Vivica Fox and all these swirlers talking all this stuff like, yeah, black women should date white men and everything. Basically, just saying, let's destroy the black family once and for all. Let's humiliate the black man. They don't want you here. They don't want you here. Not just the white people. Our own race of people have turned their back on us. The black man in America. Now it's time for us good black men, right, to lend our services to other people. To Tanzania, to Kenya, to South Africa. Let the world see good black men thriving outside of America. Don't let anybody shame you thinking that you owe something to this country or this community that don't give a damn about you. So I just want to rant on that. You can play the video now, Mike.
Excellent color, always great breakdown. Anything else you want to say about this video before we play it?
No, that's Wayne's niece. Lovely girl. You know, that was my last.
Look like your date. Actually, while I'm watching the video, y'all all matching and everything. Like y'all
I
going.
know, but Isabella, my wife, was sitting there right there watching every little thing. So I had to watch.
I mean, I'm surprised she didn't let you change your shirt because y'all look like a couple in the video.
I didn't know she was gonna have on blue.
I'm sure you didn't.
I showed up there. I said, "We got the same thing on."
Yeah, she probably thought that was a mating call. Let's rock the video with Mr. Color Genesis family.
Yena, it's your girl Bernice Matu from the Liberian Heritage Society, and today I'm here at Evelyn Restaurant with Mr. Makala, who is visiting us for the very first time. Mr. Makala, can you please introduce yourself for us?
My name is Dwayne McCullough. I'm from the United States. I'm an author, a geopolitical pundit, culture critic and geopolitical pundit. I go by the non-diploma called College Genesis. I'm an author. I wrote the first historical novel on the Republic of Liberia called Journey to the Promised Land, Voyage of the Barkazor, about the Liberia exodus of 1878 from Charleston, South Carolina to Liberia. The ship, the Tolberts, the last remaining returning African family, was on. I'm in Liberia to do a fact finding. I did a lot of research when I'm here. I also came here and got engaged. My fiance is here. And so I have a deep connection to this country, both historic or many different ways. On one, I've had known about the Hill family from Macon County, Georgia, settling in New Georgia. You know, I'm still researching that. I'm also fascinated by the indigenous culture in Liberia, the different tribes. So I'm both, right? I'm an enthusiast of traditional African culture, and I'm also enthusiast of the culture of the Americas, the South, and how they were able to transfer in the Caribbean, and how they were able to transform those cultures on African shores. I think that's one of the most, and build a republic, one of the most remarkable stories in human history. How a country, against all the odds, was able to build a republic and is still standing today. And so my job is, over the last 10 years, I have several organizations. One is called the Association of African Americans for Liberia, which on a hunch 10 years ago, I did a lot of research. I read a lot of books on Liberia. I've been studying Liberia for 25 years, right? And then over the last, I would say 10 years, I started getting a new perspective on the country. People start telling me, you know, all the horrible things about Liberia was not all true. A lot of it's exaggerated. Then I learned over the years that there was a concerted effort to discredit this country from day one. And I believe that my job is to basically say, if we can forgive America, we can basically give all these other countries the benefit of the doubt. Japan, Germany, all these countries, everything. Why is it that we're going to let the first Black Republic die because of misunderstandings or whatever you think it happens? So my life work is to make sure before anything else, right, we get this narrative and get this story of Liberia right and tell the truth. No matter who it hurts, no matter who it benefits and everything, tell the entire truth. And I'm open to all discussions on this topic. I've learned a lot since I've been here. And so and it's still a learning process. But the bottom line is I want to get this story right. And once we get this story right, I do believe it'll benefit Liberia, it'll benefit Black America, it'll benefit Africa. Because if we don't get this story right, then what this says is, what tells the world is that we as a race are not capable of building up on our own. This is the only republic on the continent built by Black people. So if they discredit Liberia, then that means for the next 1,000 years, we're always going to be second guessing our abilities. If we get this right, then that's going to give us confidence no matter where we are. Hey, we have a republic that's still standing there that was founded by Black people from America. They'll say, well, why do you say, well, they say, Colin, why you emphasize race? Because everything's about race. The psychological damage of Black people in America, Liberia, South Africa, whoever like that is damaged by race. We're still under a psychological trauma of slavery, colonials, and everything. So we have to always constantly be proving to ourselves we're just as good. Not just say it, but prove it. Prove it by what we call Black excellence, being good, being the best at what we do.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with Mr. Makala.
Chicken leg for a day. 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 When he said, make love to me, oh, make love to me, pretty mama, make love to me, so chicken leg for a day. And I said, Ataya me love, oh, Ataya me love, Ataya me love, and chicken leg for a day. Hey, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Makala. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you too.
Nice to meet you. Mr. Makala,
Yes.
how is like visiting Liberia for the very first time as an African American with no roots in Liberia? And why Liberia?
Let me tell you something. When I got here, right, at first, the first day I said, in this land I'm a king, right? But after a week, I realized, right, in this land I'm a human being, I'm a person. Because besides the fact that it's an icing on the cake, I'm around Black people, people look like me, you know? For the first time in my life, I don't have to apologize for who I am. I don't have to walk around walking on eggshells and constantly be proving myself, okay, I got to do this, I do this. People just accept me just who I am. Nobody actually told me I don't belong here. Everyone's treated me like I'm a family, you know? They always say, welcome home. They don't say, welcome to my home. They say, welcome home. You know, oh, yeah, you're home now, you know? They make me feel welcome. They make me feel home, you know? That's all I ever asked. Then it dawned on me. I said, look, Liberia is unique. And this is my first African country, but I can tell you this, right? Liberians seem like they're acclimated to people coming from America, black people, It's been 200 years, people coming from America. So I'm just one person coming from America, and I just fit right in. That sense of belonging I've always wanted my whole life, I got when I got here, And I got two days left here, and I'm going to miss this place until I come back, I'm really gonna miss this place. I don't know what to do. This sense of belonging and peace that I had when I got here. The people are friendly, the people are honorable. Liberians are hardworking people. They're clean, they're decent. And even in traffic, they'll curse each other out, and then next minute, hi, how you doing? In America, that would be a shootout. Somebody get killed, Here, people are peaceful. People are law-abiding, The children are respectful. Children are respectful adults, It's just a wonderful place, Men respect women here, Women respect men. All the things that I think that's wrong in the world is right here in Liberia, And I'm telling you, and I tell people all the time, this has been a great place. I would say, I did a show the other night on my friend's channel. I said, Africa made easy, I said, Liberia should be the first place you go to in Africa, because let me be honest with you, right? When I first got here, I felt, oh, wow, I felt like I was in an American city, I felt like I was in the rural, except for some infrastructure issues, I get that, Monrovia is very modern, and when you're driving on Tubman Boulevard, it's like you're driving on a major city in America, And I was like driving, I'm seeing the shops, I'm like, and I'm saying, so that loosened me up. Then a week later, I went to Douala, right? In Waterside. I said, okay, now I'm in Africa.
You're in Africa, yeah.
Now I'm in Africa. But get this, when we drove out of Douala, right? We drove out of Douala, right? Up to the upriver, St. Paul, right? With the Brewerville. I felt like I was in Savannah, Georgia again, So it's like I went from New York City to Africa, Douala, and to North Carolina and Georgia. When I went to Caldwell and everything, I felt like I was in the rural parts of North Carolina. So I got everything, I said, I'm at home, but I'm in Africa, So the whole experience here was like, wow. It's like being in America, having Africa in your backyard, And I'm like, I tell anybody, I say, this is a wonderful, wonderful place for Black people in America. And I tell people all the time, I say, I haven't been to Ghana, I haven't been to these other countries and everything, but everybody tells me what I described. Because everybody will tell me, okay, everything's easy here. People tell me, you want to buy land, you want to buy property here, like that. I'm like, I hear people that live in Africa for 20 years, African Americans, and can't own anything, can't do anything. And then people already ask me when I got here, when are you going to try to apply for citizenship? Like that. I'm like, okay, slow down. I want to,
One at a time.
But one at a time, let me get it. But the whole thing is there, and no one's telling you no. It's like, oh, when you coming back, It's like, are you going back? They said, when are you coming back? They see how happy I am here, and how much fun I'm having, and how used to it is. It's very, very Africa easy, Liberia, and like I said, I realize the history of the country. I appreciate all sides, and let me tell you something. Although I love Liberia for years, as everybody know, I was a little apprehensive based on the comments I was hearing from Liberians on the internet, which I think is a problem, I get here and the people are the most loving people in the world. Most loving people in the world. I'm just like, wow, there's nothing like, I said, wow, you guys are nothing like those people, Liberians that live in America on Facebook. No offense to all Liberians in America. I got a lot of Liberians in America. But, I think the people on the ground are ready for healing. They're ready for something better. And I tell you, I said my first week here, these people will be just fine. I see the hard work, I see young men in their 20s and 30s running businesses and everything, acting like adults and everything. I said, these Liberians are very capable. They're holding this country together, despite being neglected by the United States, despite being neglected by all these countries that claim to be Liberia's friend, despite being neglected by the rest of Africa when Liberia is still standing, and it's not going anywhere. You know, and my goal is to tell African Americans, if we want to help Africa, let's start here. Let's start where our ancestors laid their life down to help establish a republic. This is the country that we launched to other parts of Africa from, you know? And so, like I said, you know, people try to count Liberia out as a failed state. I don't see it failing. I see everything working. It may not work all the time, you know, we got problems, but it's still standing here. At least the people are here working on the ground. They're doing stuff. They're not sitting in America or in the UK complaining. They're here. You know, and I got utmost love and respect for the Liberian people here. All of them. I love them with all my heart. I love every last single tribe, every last single group. You know, you're amazing people. You know, what they've shown to me for the last 3 weeks when I'm here is something I'm never going to forget.
I love that.
That's Color Genesis. Excellent, brother. Excellent. Good work. Good work. Good production.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, like I said, I went to Liberia. The second time I had even more fun. You know, it was like it dawned on me because at the time I was hearing about all these people having all these problems in Africa and stuff like that. People getting called a Bruni and all sorts of that. I had nothing but love from that country, you know? And definitely you'll definitely fall in love with this country, you know, when you go there, you know? Don't listen to the naysayers and all stuff like this. You know, Liberia is a republic that's still standing today, you know? Because what our ancestors built there and everything. Everybody loves it, you know? Everybody loves the freedom they have, the liberty, and freedom they have and everything like that. It's a wonderful country. Wonderful country. So this is, like I said, this is definitely a place. Now we got brother Bomani Tyehimba. Yo, man, this is gonna kick off like you won't believe, you know. You know, 5 years from now we're gonna be like, whoa. You know. We're gonna build institutions. You know, we're gonna do all kinds of stuff in this country. You know, because this is a place, man. This is how we engage the continent. You know, we need a place. We need a safe haven, a landing place. You know, where we fit right in and feel right at home. You know, so join us for this tour next year, folks. You know.
Yes, brother. I was trying to find your video up at the Ducor Hotel. I was trying to remember what link that is under, what name.
Will be 17.
Yes, absolutely. But that's it, family, right there. That is the flyer for a Liberia Journey for Lifetime. I just, played a few videos of Liberia. We're just beefing up the energy and just showing you clips, highlights, color breaking down the history. I was talking about our venture to get you connected into somewhere to where we have the highest possibility of success, because we get tired of seeing your trials and tribulations and your failures and shortcomings in other African countries. So this is what we're doing. You know, we have prepared something incredible for you, something exceptional, something on that next level, and just looking for more of us to connect together so we can just bring it to life.
I just sent it to you, brother.
Right, excellent. Yes, family, so we're going to share some more highlights with you. Yes, Kala, you want to break this down before we start playing it?
This is the Ducor Hotel, right? On the monument is a statue of Joseph Jenkins Robert, the first black president of a republic in history. the first president of Liberia, first black head of state, recognized by all the world powers at the time, Joseph Jenkins Roberts, right? He was given a ship by Queen Victoria, a gunboat, to build up his navy to fight the slave trade, and capture slave ships off the coast of Liberia. He came to Liberia in like 1840s, right? He was born in Norfolk, Virginia, raised in Petersburg, Virginia. He was a wealthy businessman in America before he came to Liberia. And so on the bottom will show you just a brief synopsis of the history of Liberia. And I played the video. It was really self-explanatory. I really break it down what everything meant in this thing.
All right, excellent, brother. Let's play the video, family.
Well, I have to do this video all over again because I actually hit in my excitement, I had the thing on the wrong mode.
Can you put the volume up?
I want to talk about this monument right here. Joseph J.
Can I play it from what? That's
No,
just
it was down a little low. The volume was a little
low. Yeah, the volume is all the way up, and that's
okay.
The volume is all the way up on the video, so.
Okay, maybe it's me. Hold up. Okay, good.
I mean, the issue is the video is recorded low, so. I mean, you have to speak into the phone, the camera, all that good stuff. But nevertheless, when you're around folks like ourselves, man, you become a professional after a while. But
yeah,
when we get there, we'll redo this one.
Yeah.
Jenkins Roberts, a monument, the father of Liberia. The reason why this monument is so important.
Now here.
Because it symbolizes, if you look at the sculpture of what the African American people from the African slave descendants, manumitted black people felt when they hit these shores. You see, the first thing is conflict, right? They fought with the cannon to secure themselves against people who didn't want them to land, didn't want to have freedom. They were colluding with the slave traders and everything. Then you have a picture of an African warrior, standing proud with his dignity. Okay, you have the two sides, both were proud. The Africans want, they want to say, look, we ain't gonna punks, you ain't gonna run over us. Then comes the reconciliation, the peace between, and I don't use the term American Liberians or Congo people, whatever, the Liberians. And then you see them with the paramount chiefs shaking hands, sort of shaking hands, saying, let's try something, a new reality. And that began the process of unifications 100 years before Tubman in 1945. It was a 100-year process of people getting to know each other, And you see the unity between the two people, the two sides. They're a little apprehensive of each other, you see in the pictures. But the thing is, they're on this land now. And what Liberia symbolizes is we could build a republic. All right. Building a republic, not yet a nation. A nation and a republic are two different things, okay? They succeeded in building a republic, right? But the nation part was going to take a little more work. A nation requires you to give a little something up for yourself to achieve a republic. Out of many, in America, they have the thing, out of many, we are one. You're Irishman, German, whatever, Englishman, you're now Americans. Out of many are one. This experiment was tried in Liberia. It could have happened if more people would have came here. And Liberia, the weight of the world was on Liberia not to succeed. Because if Liberia succeeds, that gives hope for other African countries to put their tribal conflicts aside and succeed. So when you look at this right here, you see a returning settler carrying bricks. If you look at all the stone, you look at how far they must have had to carry these bricks. You look at the ocean, all the way up on top of this hill, they had to carry these stones all the way up here. And you see that right here with their wives and children. And you see the one man with a shovel in his hand. That means he's ready to work. You know, and you see the one brother kissing the ground. What does that tell you? He wasn't say, "Oh, I want to go back to America." He was glad to be on free soil. They're praising the Lord. I'm in heaven. I made it. This is how they felt when the jubilance they felt when they came here. Naturally, there's going to be problems. People that were in on land saying, "Hey, look, I don't. What are you doing? You can't just come here and just want freedom. We got chiefs here. We got rules here." But these people wanted freedom so bad. They said they were enslaved in America. They said, "Well, we're enslaved by the white man, but we're not going to be enslaved by the black man." And so they fought, out of which came a republic, which could have ultimately been a nation, but it's still not too late for Liberia to become a nation, a unified nation, under one flag, one creed, one common name, one God, one purpose. That can happen, and it's going to happen. By the testament of Almighty God, it's going to happen. I have every faith in the founding of people in this country and the purpose for what this was set up for. That's the Matilda Newport canon and old legend. Some say it was a myth, but that is what it is. That was a canon. Unfortunately, a sad time in Liberian history where they had to fire on some of the local people who didn't want to. But the good thing about it is they had a lot of local support. King Boatswain supported the settlers. A lot of people said, yeah, but they were many were too afraid of the Days. The Days wanted to rule, And the settlers said, we just wanted a little piece of land, just be free, just leave us alone. That wasn't enough. You can't have people free without being under somebody's rule. So what happens in history when people say they want to be free and somebody say, no, you can't be free? Conflict, war. No different than watching the Game of Thrones. There's nothing unique or bad that happened in Liberia that didn't play out all over the world. Let's stop making it seem like, oh, wow, they went to war and all this stuff like that. Stop it. It happened, and we learn from it.
Are your kids in grades 6 to 11? Harvard has made SAT and ACT.
Yes, Color Genesis, another platinum hit, brother.
Yep.
Another platinum hit. So, yes, brother, if you're ready to close, we can just post a farewell banner and appreciate everybody for tuning in. And
we'll be back tomorrow night.
If you want to share anything before you close.
What you say, brother?
Let me know if you want to share anything before we close.
Oh, yeah. Join us on the tour next year. Go to the Black African Infrastructure Organization social network. Join us. Join the Liberia chapter. We have Association of African Liberia on Facebook. You join that. Connect with our people. It was a really exciting time. When I created the Association of African Americans of Liberia, I didn't know how this was going to be taken. I had all these Liberians joining and whatnot. I didn't get along with a lot of these people at first. But the bottom line is I stuck with it. And now, I'm an integral part of the Liberian culture and society. That's how you integrate with people. You integrate with by sharing. I share things that from my culture and my heritage and my history and everything. I didn't discard who I am as a Black American, African American. I said, this is who I am. This is who you are. We got a common heritage with this country, and we want to reconnect and rebuild what our ancestors started. Your ancestors come from there. We have something in common. We have two countries, and the first 8 presidents from were born in the United States and Liberia. Most of the Liberian educated people were educated in Black colleges in America. We have a lot. The African Methodist Episcopal Church, AME Church, and the AME Zion Church have university there. The Ricks University was founded by an African American. The College of West Africa and everything. So we have a history of contribution to this country. And so what we're saying is, hey, look, just like our ancestors did this hundreds of years ago, we can continue and pick up the bond. It's our duty and also responsibility to pick up where our ancestors left off, To do so, we cannot. It's like if you have a house and you're always over somebody else's house, fixing their yard and fixing everything and doing whatever, and then you're neglecting your own house. Liberia, black people in America, and I'm not telling people not to go to other parts of Africa, right? But we cannot neglect Liberia. You know, Liberia has to come first, in my opinion. You know, we cannot neglect this country. You know, we cannot look at this country. We cannot take the easy way out. Oh, I want to go to South Africa. I want to go to Ghana because they got better this. No, you got to go where your ancestors started and everything like that. And you'll be more at peace, you know, because you'll be with something that's really yours.
Yes, brother Color Genesis, excellent, brother. That is excellent. So family, this is our closeout banner. Appreciate your energy, appreciate you joining us, and we will keep you posted. More of the fire from Pan-Africanism towards nationhood, and as we're getting ready to organize more for Liberia, we'll bring on some more people. We'll talk more about Liberia. We'll keep on sharing, and yes, and we're gonna be sharing all of our highlights from now while we're there and so on. That way you can just get a visual feel and feel the energy.
Yep. It's going to be fun because the bottom line is this is going to be, like I said, a beginning of something that, you know, that was a long time coming, you know, a long time coming, you know. So if you want a Pan-Africanism, you know, this is where you start. You know, get involved with Africans, the Black African Infrastructure Organization. You know, we're basically bringing real Pan-African towards nations. It's all about nationhood, you know. It's all about nationhood. You're not going to solve these problems in America, you know. What black people in America are yearning for is nationhood, you know. That's what we're yearning for. If nationhood is not what you want, then you don't deserve to be in a thing. You don't deserve to be in this movement. You know, that sense of peace and belonging someplace, that's what you need.
Yes, brother. Well said as usual, man. So, family, we're going to keep it strong. We're going to play a few little closeout tunes and just enjoy the music, and we'll keep it strong.
And I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
It was the year 1957. The African Republic of Ghana regained her independence from colonial forces under the careful leadership of the Honorable Dr. Bomani in Cuba. Blessed by His Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie, Kadamawi, Kadamawi, Kadamawi. Hey, hey! Ahoy, ahoy, ahoy.
bird. A message in the lesson. Return to the roots. Connect your truths and your blessing. United we stand, and we standing strong. From the examples of Ghana, got to be working together. Black star, black generation. Ice, gold and green. Life, color, life, liberation. They can having cross. Symbols from creation. It was a sun covered. A message in the lesson. Return to the roots. Connect your truth and your blessing. Sun covered. A message in the lesson. Return to the roots. Connect your truth and your blessing. Return to your roots and get 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 your blessing. The call and response. Rhythms of djembe and kete. Sounding far and distance. Regenerating vibration. From corner to curb. The million voices are heard. Ahoy, 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 ahoy. It was a sun covered. A message in the lesson. Return to the roots. Connect your truths and your blessing. Sun covered. A message in the lesson. Return to the roots. Connect your truths and your blessing. Return to your roots and get your blessing. Return to your roots and get your blessing. Return to the roots and get your blessing. You must return.